Hello and welcome everyone to another fantastic Saturday here on the Exploding Dice channel. My name is Askren and I am your host and dungeon master for the evening, and I'm just gonna, hold on, just turn there a little bit that way. Thank you for joining us, everyone. Welcome. We have a very, very fun show for you today. We have not actually been here in this campaign in a little while, so before we dive into things, why don't we say hello to our cast and see how they're doing. How are you guys doing? What's up, everyone?
Doing
Good.
Good.
Yeah, what up? It's good to be back.
Oh yeah, it definitely is. Can you lower your music a smidge? Oh yeah. Sorry. That is gonna be way down there. Let me turn them down. Let me turn them. Yeah, sorry. That was my fault. I had that way up, and I totally forgot about it. As you guys can see, Lisa is not with us because she is currently dead, but I hear she will be resurrecting very shortly. Her respawn timer is almost up.
All right.
Lisa will be joining us in just a bit, but for now you get a tombstone in her place. Once again, if you guys have not already, please make sure you hit that retweet link. Dice Thulu has it for you in the chat right there. Tell everyone that you're hanging out and you're having a good time here on the Writhing Moon. As always, before we get into things, just a couple of announcements real quick. First and foremost is, we announced it. We actually announced it a little while ago, but if you guys do not have plans for April 29th for International Tabletop Day, I highly suggest you go scope out some of the really awesome streamers that are part of the TGN, the Tabletop Game Network, here on Twitch. Our little team link is right below the video here. And you can see that we are going to be doing a Tabletop Day event with ourselves, Saving Throw Show, playing board games, and Twist Gaming, all some really awesome role-playing streamers and board game streamers, and we have a really big collaborative thing that's going to be happening. I don't know exactly how many details that have been released on it, but what I can tell you is that each of those 4 awesome channels, well, 3 and ours, are going to be, we're going to be running a one-shot game with a storyline that is interconnected and influencing one another. So everything that happens on one stream will carry on to the next and hopefully build up into this really, really crazy fun story. I know I had a blast writing it with these guys, so I suggest you mark your calendars. That's going to be Tabletop Day, and that's going to be awesome. The only other major announcement I have is, if you guys haven't already, please hit that giveaway link. It's just Dice Thulu has it for you. If you're already following on Twitch and Twitter, you have some free entries, so just go claim them, and you can win a copy of Yawning Portal plus a player's handbook, a Wormwood Dice Vault, and some dice. It's a really, really cool giveaway prize, and you guys are definitely going to want to see the couple of prizes that I got working up for you in the next couple months. It's some crazy stuff. Speaking of giveaways, there is a banner that is sitting on the screen to that side. It's on that side of the screen over there. You can see, you guys have been crazy supportive with the monthly goal up here, and we just want to try and crush our monthly goal before the end of the month, mostly because at the end of the month, on the 29th, our stream is going to be 100% charity. It's going to be Extra Life all the way. But for now, as you can see, the donation goal above us and the Game With subscriber goal below me, if we hit both of those, if we hit either one of those goals, I will be doing drawings for a new giveaway. So each goal we hit is going to unlock a new giveaway. We're going to be giving away a cool prize to one person in chat. So if you guys want to support the channel, that is the best way to do it. How can you support the channel? Well, donations can get you all kinds of cool things. You can give the players advantage, natural 20s. You can also give them a draw from the tarot card deck. As you can see, a couple of those have already been drawn. Those create some really cool prophecies and storylines that will be filling the world. And if you want more of those, the Game with subscription will give you a stock of those for the month that you can just use up, as well as some other really cool benefits. So consider getting involved that way. That is all the announcements I have for now. So why don't we turn things over just a bit? Let's turn our music down. As always, guys, the awesome and amazing horror ambience and sounds that you guys are going to be hearing are brought to you by our great friends over at Sirenscape.
Thank you, Sirenscape.
So I'm just turning that music up a little bit. All right. There we go. So, it's been a little while, so why don't we go ahead and recap a little bit about what has been happening. The new follower just reminded me. I forgot to say this. Some people have been asking me about this, but I don't generally read out followers and donation messages on stream during Rising Moon, specifically because we're trying to create an awesome atmosphere, but please do not feel that we have not seen you and it is not hugely appreciated. We'll shout out every one of you at the end of the stream and show you all the love. So thank you. We don't hear the music? Give me 1 second. Hold on. How about now? Do you hear it now? You turned it down too much.
I can hear it. It's freaking the hell out of me.
Yeah, you guys should be able to hear it. I'm just making sure they're hearing it on the stream. That's all.
You'll know it when you guys hear it. Yeah, that's for sure.
Let me know. There we go. Okay, now they can hear it. Okay. So what happened last week on the Writhing Moon? Well, it began with our party still in the waking dream after having ventured through this strange Briarstone Academy, some sort of precursor or early remnant of what would later become the Cargill Academy in Palemore. The Briarstone Academy was a large manor building in the decrepit town of Briarstone, which they found within the dream itself. The players wandered their way through it, and they saw some very, very strange things. Visions of what appeared to be younger versions of acquaintances, people they seem to have met before. They saw a younger version of both Simon, who would possibly later become Lord Simon of the White Church. They also saw what must be a younger version of Callum, the founder and head of the Cargill Academy. They found them working together in this room, in this academy, learning, studying on bodies, experimenting on different things. And as they ventured through, some of the people in our party gained some interesting knowledge and some interesting insight into things that perhaps they should not have known. Felix himself got a glimpse of some strange operating in secret in an operating theater below the academy with something nearby that probably was out of place or was very very disturbing. They delved into this academy. They found a hidden library with a note left from Callum to Simon, which spoke of the dangers of the path that he was walking and the information that he was seeking. And under the academy, in the operating theater, they met Callum. As he was before, they spoke with him, and as always, his cryptic answers and riddles did little to ease their minds. But they did follow him through the exit, and rather than exiting the academy, they emerged once again into the graveyard, the very first place they met him, wherein they found Callum in the house among the graves, though he possibly dead, and standing over his body was none other than the horrid form of the rag-clad and scar-covered monster, the Tatterman, that being from the mists that our players were once killed by in their dreams. A vicious fight ensued between the players and the Tatterman as they seemed to draw blood. They seemed to injure it fairly grievously before it fled back into the mists. And as it did, and I will get to that in 1 second. Don't think I did not see that, because I absolutely did. As it fled into the mists, they found that Callum himself turned to dust. The room turned over a few clues as Gurney seemed to find some strange bit of desiccated flesh wrapped in cloth on an altar within this room. You also found a number of other little tidbits, but not wanting to remain here, you took the lantern back to what you believe is the real world, and then quickly made your way into the cathedral ward, where you decided to escort that young girl, the one whose father you are almost positive was turned into some abomination of flesh. You decided to escort her over to the apothecary, the name of whom I do not remember because it's not in front of me. What is it?
Her name was Guinevere.
Guinevere, that's correct. Nice. Yes, slipped my mind because I haven't looked at my notes in a while. You escorted this young girl back to Guinevere's place. Guinevere agreeing to take custody of her, and it was there that Gurney finally got a look at this desiccated flesh, as in its in this world it is not quite desiccated, but it is a sort of lump of strange curled flesh, almost like a tentacle, but not quite, covered in sort of cataracted, pale, cloudy, but still there, eyes, just covered in eyes. And as you glimpsed at this thing and kind of its whatever it was sort of shook you to your core, dredging up memories of things that you had hoped you had forgotten. That was where we ended it for the evening. So that is where we will be picking it up with our players in Guinevere's apothecary, and Gurney slowly realizing some things might not quite be right. Before we start, though, I want to thank you, Tunarth. And I'm going to need everyone to draw me a D53.
No!
53?
Yes.
We're getting more fun, guys.
On my way.
Alright, there it is.
19.
It's that time again.
Alright.
D53.
Yes.
All right.
Nat 53.
Natural
Really?
53. Okay. Hold on. Give me 1 second. I'm going to have to open up my folder here.
Praise God.
I don't know if that's a good thing in this case.
Yeah,
bad
you're right.
thing.
Whatever.
That
I'm
matter.
taking it as a good thing. I'm putting good energy out there. That's. We need some of that in this class.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
Sorry, I need to actually draw these myself.
Yes.
That's 1. That's 2. That's 3. That's 4. Okay. No, I don't want that to open.
Yeah, hopefully that's not like a madness meter I just rolled on right now. now you got me starting to doubt it. Start thinking about it too much.
We're okay. We're okay.
And with a 53, you die.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Forever.
I'm afraid so. No,
Well done.
okay. So, Speedy, on a 19, you are going to draw this.
It's a shiny Charizard.
The Hierophant.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like a shiny Charizard.
I forget which one was yours. Yours was the sun, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, so
Oh boy.
that is going to be yours right there. Gurney, you are going to draw this.
Oh man, I'm getting the best hand right here.
Yours was which one?
The Magician and the Devil.
Okay, there we go. The Hermit is also yours. That means where are the other ones here? That
See what
means
that juicy 53.
sorry.
Which one was I before though? Yikes.
You had the High Priestess. I don't know if you can see it. You are going to draw
Okay,
the
so-
9 of Pentacles.
Sweet. All right, let's do it. I like
That's
it. Pretty
pretty
lady.
holy.
I'll take her. Yeah.
And that means
Temptress.
last but not least is Vesper, who will draw the Knight of Pentacles.
A lot of pentacles going around lately. I got the queen, she got the knight, you got the 9.
Pentaculous.
All right. So so you will you guys will be, I believe you were given your last cards by Guinevere also. She gave you. So you will she will, before you leave, she will each kind of present you with the card wrapped in a small piece of paper. Though what they actually mean, for those of you who don't know, we don't quite know. The Harrow cards are very mysterious portents of things to come, though I think their meaning is sometimes fairly obvious. I will I haven't exactly decided how to explain it, but I'm toying with the basically Ulrich, when you earlier when you were down in the underground part of the temple, you are perhaps certain that one of the earlier cards you drew may have foretold that event, as you may have met.
Okay.
If you recall, do you remember who you met down there?
Yikes. No, maybe not.
She took something from you.
Yikes. Oh, that lady. God damn it. Okay. No, I don't remember her name, but I remember the way she looked because she looked badass. And she
Yeah.
had the Ebony Legion with her. Right?
Yes, you
Ebony
met
Boys.
a woman
Yeah.
who was leading a religious order, potentially a
Yeah, the
priestess
Ebony
of some
Legion.
sort.
Can I trade out all 3 of my cards for the Lover's card, please?
You need a full house for that.
Ah!
All right.
Timeshare.
So, man, so we've got a lot of events on the table that, I mean, you guys have a very full future. Thank you, thanks to Two North. So anyway, now we can finally dive into things. Okay, so you guys have just, Gurney, you've just sort of unwrapped this thing and kind of gazed into it.
I'm not sure how long I have gazed into it, but once I'm able to tear myself away from it, I would like to see how Guinevere is taking it.
She wasn't really paying too much attention to you when like you were off in a corner kind of doing this. She was at the time she was tending to both Felix and this young girl. She was kind of getting her sorted. You can show it to her if you'd like, but I'm assuming only a few seconds have really passed.
I wrap it back up and I put it back in my bag.
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't trust him.
I don't like her medical opinion on this.
She's too close to Felix.
It's tempting because it's tempting, but no. I don't think now's the time. Especially, leave this with. Here's a little girl. Here's a hunk of tentacle meat. Have fun.
Oh god.
Take care of them both.
Yeah.
Turns out
into
potato.
Gosh.
I'll just wait to see if Felix is okay. Are you okay?
Felix is just kind of sitting down at this table with like his head in his hands. He's kind of not really saying anything still.
Yeah. I see.
A bit lost.
So he's kind of dazed out. Right?
Yeah. Well, I guess I can go to Uther, and Gurney just folds his hands out. He's trying to look. I didn't see anything
Nonchalant.
weird. Yeah, I didn't see anything weird.
Okay.
All right. So, Uther.
You look like you just saw something weird.
Oh, really? Well, well, look what I have to deal with every day, and I just point at my hole in my chest. Come on, Uther.
Okay.
All right, listen. We have to start talking about our next move.
Hi. I'll look over at Felix and like, and Guinevere, and what's the next move? I could take both of them, one swing, get them together.
You just go straight to violence all the time.
The sinners.
Let's.
Never mind. I don't think that's what you meant. Sorry.
No. Judge not, lest you be something. Anyways, the last time we listened to her, it kind of didn't work out. She pointed us in a direction. We just didn't go all the way. We could go back. I really don't want to, though, considering what we, a curtain of skin and nasty daddy flesh. No.
Yeah, we didn't go beyond that. I thought there was like nothing beyond it.
There was.
Maybe we didn't. Yeah.
Well, listen, Uther.
Okay.
There's too much. There's too much. We could go back, but I say we could aim for something else.
What if we? What about those? That one woman with their little ebony boys. They're headed for that big tower, right?
Now, she just said a tower, Uther, and not only that, you kind of knew what was going on when she came in, didn't you?
Well, a little bit, I think. Don't question me, boy, all right? That's the past now. I don't want to get... But, yeah, there might be bad news.
They're bad news.
I think I do need to, I think I do have some unsettled business there.
Well, it's not just that they're bad news, it's that they have the ability to move unhindered, unlike us. They're able to do a lot more on their end than on our end. They could know something about this since their recent comings.
Well, that's all more reason to find them then. Maybe we could learn why it's so easy for them to move in the shadows and why they can move so confidently.
I honestly don't think they're very stealth-oriented. You know what they do. They stomp through the streets and they kill everything in their way.
Yeah.
Kind of like you.
Well, you know why we used to, have some sort of relations. But yes, I think it's I know it's a little reckless, and maybe at least they're easy to find, and we don't have to march right out. But she knows something. They were after something in there. They got what we were after. And I think we should get it back.
that's only one piece. We still have more people related to this issue that we could investigate. We don't need to go straight towards these people if you don't want to. The vivisectionist was a mistake. Maybe some of these other targets are not as crazy as he is. That's all I'm saying.
You see, like, Ulrich kind of just like, I have a hard time imagining anyone in this godforsaken city is not crazy. But I suppose, we choose our battles wisely, if that's what you're saying. I could agree with that.
I am. I think if we go knocking on their front door, number one, they don't like you. Number two, I'm really nosy, and Felix isn't in the best mood right now. I say we try to find Harl or Ileana. Now, Ileana was the Magistic. She is the consort to Lord Simon. I figure, honestly, okay, listen. Lord Simon is a good shot for this, considering what we've seen in the Lantern, and wherever the Lantern takes us. We're learning a lot about him, and we're learning a lot about Callum.
Yes. Yeah. Okay.
I think it'd be wise to see where this started from her point of view. We're not any closer to finding out what happened to us.
Yeah.
But
I agree. Yeah. If there's one thing we do need, it's a little more clarity, because the mist is not, or pun intended, in here. It's clouding our vision. Okay. Well, does Guinevere, did she say like any direction on where those characters are? Have we talked to them? Like that Ilium or Callum? We haven't mentioned that.
I say if she doesn't know, we could still go to that gentleman at the Night's Watch, Sir Jorah. Okay. We could go ask him.
You have a sort of
Oh yes, that's right. I'm smart.
Well, you have a kind of a little bit of an idea, at least of the geography of the city. You're not sure exactly who Ileana is, per se, though. You may have been privy, like the name may have rung a bell at some point. You've never met her. Different circles. You've never really been concerned with that strata. Though your guess would be that if anything, or if there was anywhere she might be, it would probably be in the Alabaster District.
Where's that?
There's a so you definitely are aware of the fact that, let me actually open my my thing here, my map for myself. There's actually technically it's just to the south of the Cathedral Ward. You would have to cross the bridge back to the central Central Palemore, and then if the academy is set on a large hill. Basically, just to the right of that is the Alabaster District.
I like the idea of getting closer to the academy. All right. Well, listen, we're doing a lot of work in the Cathedral Ward, but it's definitely not the safest place in Palemore. What we could do, get directions to the Alabaster District, as in ask me for directions. And from there, we see if there's any living souls that will not harm us and are capable of speech.
Aye. And if there's any of those living souls that require justice, we deliver that as well.
Or send them to, here or the church. No
in between.
Oh, okay.
Up there, down there. No, JK, I just need to kill something.
I get that feeling.
I guess if they're not sinners, then yeah, we could send them back here.
All right, well listen, I'm just saying
that remote chance.
Okay, we're learning a lot about Lord Simon. We know that he's the big source of where all this blood came from. I'm just thinking it's going to be better for us in the long run if we understand more about where he came from after, ditching Callum. Because they broke off hard. They had a hard breakup.
Know thy enemy.
Hmm.
I agree.
He's not.
You're making a lot of sense today, Gurney. I like it.
I've had some recent insights, yes.
All right, let's do it. Yeah.
You also notice that Gurney has not. He's wearing his mask and he hasn't taken it off, so he's just wearing it right now.
Okay.
Listen, Felix, and I pat Felix on the back. Are you okay, buddy?
Turns around.
Felix,
Scared because of the mask.
while you were doing this, Felix actually had turned to Amelia, the girl who you had brought, and he's just looking at her and saying, Did your family ever take you to church, young one?"
She's kind of sitting on a stool. You can see she's kind of been given she was given like a small kind of crust of bread or something to chew on, and she's just kind of sitting there. She looks up at you. She says, my daddy used to work for the church, before he went out to hunt, like you.
Well, your daddy was a very brave man. Did he ever take you to church to hear about the teachings, about the pure blood and the angels?
She says, Mother said that I was too young. She didn't want me to smell Daddy's to smell what he smelled when he hunted. She said it wasn't. I was too young. It would be bad.
Well, your mother was smart and protecting you, but there's much you've missed out on. There's a great deal of good in the church. I'm a priest, you see. You should come by one of my sermons sometime. It's quite it's refreshing to be in the presence of something so holy.
She kind of looks up at you with a very open look, but she's not quite, almost as if she's not quite sure how to respond. She says,
Word of our community's acclaim spreads.
She says, do you hunt like Daddy does?
Well, no. Not like your daddy. I'm more like this kind woman here, Guinevere. I ran a small congregation. Whenever people like your daddy get trapped outside too late, we let them in, and we give them somewhere to stay and to pray. Feel the holiness of the angels.
She kind of like just sits there, kind of her eyes kind of wide, looking up at you. You could tell that she's probably not been exposed to a lot of actual church activity. She doesn't seem to like but after, as she's kind of trying to process what you're saying, she says, you sound, I think you sound like our uncle. He was like you.
Your uncle, you say? What was his name, by chance?
She says,
Felix.
No!
She says, he was Uncle Orion. He was like Daddy, but old.
Daddy but old. Is that a name I would recognize by any chance?
Maybe. Roll me a learning check.
Alright. I have nothing in learning.
Okay.
Pure intuition.
9.
No, it does not ring a bell. From what you can gather, you got the sense from the way she described that her father probably worked for the church in some sort of in some sort of capacity that involved hunting, probably going out on the beast hunts. You don't necessarily know if he was one of the officially sanctioned groups or one of the later ones, though if this person that she's describing is truly old, it's entirely possible that he may have, if not been a part of the church, at least been around when when their first forays into crushing the spread of plague and corruption kind of ripped through the city. This was before your time, but you know that there was they created some fairly militant wings, some fairly zealous militant wings of church warriors and hunters. All of them had, there were a few different ones that were defined by different types of weapons and fighting styles and stuff like that. You're not quite sure if any of them are left active in the city anymore. You know a few people who might know more information on that, though. So you'd probably have to clarify with them to get a clearer picture.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, he sounds like a very nice man as well. If when all of this is over, I hope I can see you sometime at my congregation. And at this point, Felix will take, if he can find like something on the table, like a small cup or something like that. He's just going to take it and just quickly take his hand and he's going to try and transmute it, if possible, into just like a little toy for her.
Okay.
Oh, what a cool magic trick.
What are you going to use to transmute it?
Candy.
Alteration.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So
yeah, basically,
go ahead.
Sort of using the tune of the blood, taking
Jesus Christ.
in order to like channel the blood, taking like something made of iron on the table, like a small metal cup or silverware, something like that. Just taking it and adding using the blood's power to just transform it, bend it to his own will.
You're sort of able to, in small ways, kind of manipulate layers of blood, not particularly strongly. It's more like you can kind of manipulate a thin veneer of it to but you know that there are as you're doing this, like you kind of feel almost like you're channeling some sort of power that for you it seems hard to grasp, and it seems like unclear. It's almost like there's something there, but it's not clear how to get there from where you are. but you know that there must be some way that you can sort of deepen your connection, because you've seen people sort of manipulate blood in much more robust and devastating ways.
That's a nice word.
So you want me to roll 16?
Yeah, I mean, it's
Or
like,
can I do this or not?
no, you can kind of like, you can kind of sort of just slow, like, kind of bend this a little bit and kind of like, you know, just carve like little bits into it. It's as kind of the blood bubbles on the surface, almost like
Generous bestowal.
almost like using a hot cutting knife or something like that. So yeah, you can kind of shape this iron cup just a little bit, like not into like a toy or something,
just kind
but
of make it more malleable almost, and be able to, I don't know, just shape it a little bit into be somewhat of a humanoid form.
yeah, you can kind of like bend little bits of it down into like legs and stuff. It's not like an anatomical form, but it's fairly close.
It's cute. He tried. Here, have this.
She kind of takes it and just looks at you, like, just doesn't really say much. She's just kind of looking at you with like wide eyes, as she you know, she just kind of holds this close.
She likes it then.
All right. Well, we have to go off and probably do some more things. Get find out what's been going on.
I'm gonna high five Vesper and be like, yeah.
I'll just be like, toys, mark of the devil.
What about coloring books?
There's no coloring books in the Bible.
What about a preteen Bible?
God damn it, Gurney. Stop questioning my religion.
Alright.
As as you kind of hand this to her, Felix, she'll just kind of reach out and just very, very gently, not saying anything, but very gently and with very kind eyes, just kind of touch the back of your hand. And for a little while, you just kind of feel like you feel something, like something warm inside you, has almost is touched just a little bit. You will of course have a natural 20 to spend.
Aww.
Also, Gurney, it seems that your newfound revelation has also given you an inspiration dice.
Well, that's pretty fine. Thank you.
All right. So you guys are milling around. You guys are kind of still catching your breath in this apothecary, in this workshop, but as you discuss what your next path is going to be, you see Guinevere is kind of just arriving, like just coming back. She's holding like just like a small kit. It looks like a blood vial or something, not huge, you know, and a band and this and there's also like a, what is, it's like a metal rack that you can hang like a blood bag from, and she says, I know that it's safe here and you're welcome to stay, but surely you do not wish to pass the night here.
Do we need to? I think we're good on hit points, right?
Yeah, we just recover them after combat.
Yeah, you've caught your breath. You've kind of taken a breather. This place is safe, but you know that obviously you're not going to get much done just standing here. So you have a few potential places you can go next. What would you guys like to do?
Real quick before that, did Guinevere tell us what she did with my blood and if she's done with whatever she was doing with it?
Sorry, say that again?
Guinevere took a sample of my blood before.
Mhm.
Is she done with that? And do we know what did we ask her about it? I don't remember.
You didn't really ask her what she was going to do with it. She just said that she wanted it for some sort of study. You know that she did potentially offer to to possibly cure anyone or help anyone that you had sent here. So it's possible she might be using your blood to find some way to do that.
Okay. Oh yeah. Remember that
Yeah.
room? Oh
Yeah, I'm looking at all of you being like, is there anything we want this crazy doctor lady to check up on? As I put my bag behind me.
Quit worming through your bag, Gurney.
There's nothing in my bag. No.
We did ask her about that last week, I think.
We did, yeah.
Okay, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do something awful. I'm going to step away from all of you. I'm gonna say to
Later.
to Guinevere,
That
because I know we ended this last week in this manner, so I'm going to follow through on my good idea or bad idea. I take her aside and I say, I need your medical opinion on this. And I take out my lovely little tentacle meat monster.
Okay.
And I show her it.
Okay.
Oh, but I preface it with, I want you to be careful though. This is a lot to take in.
Okay.
You're gonna be a little bit weirded out.
So as you hold this out in front of her, and as you kind of slowly unwrap the sort of stained silk that is covering it, you kind of show this to her, and she looks down at it. You don't really see her expression change all that much. She's just looking at it fairly, like, gazing, little, almost slightly confused, possibly, but there's silence for a few seconds.
I go, Guinevere, hello?
She kind of looks back at you and she says, I don't know what this is. I don't know what you want me to do with it.
I just wanted to see. Have you ever seen blood do this? The blood.
I have seen blood do many things. But she says, with the night so dark and so full of horrors, I would say nothing seems to be impossible. However, she kind of looks down and then kind of slowly takes the silk and like covers it back up, and she says, Would you mind if I kept some?
To be honest, I don't think I trust myself with this right now. I will let you keep it. And I want you to figure out why it's like this, and if there's anything you can glean from it. Guinevere, I am trusting you with this. If you feel uncomfortable with this,
No, I'm reading something else. Don't worry about that.
Okay. Trusting you with this, just like I trusted you with Felix.
Can we see them doing this right now? Like, 'cause I want to back them up and be like,
he did say he wanted to take her aside, so you can definitely see them. Unless you like, I'm assuming because he's your friend, you probably would have given him the privacy unless you want to actually be like leaning over and listening.
What are you guys doing?
I guess I'd probably be like competing with Felix to recruit Amelia to my religion. I guess.
Oh man.
No. I would give him the privacy, I guess. To be honest, and I'll just keep an eye on Felix, make sure he doesn't start tripping out or anything. So continue.
So, Guinevere, I'm asking a lot of you. I'm asking you to take care of a
Generous
little girl.
bestowal.
Oh. I'm also asking you to take care of what you got with Felix and his blood. And now, I'm giving you this. This night is so far horrible, terrible, but very insightful. If you don't feel comfortable keeping this, I'll see what I can do with it.
She nods. She says, I am far from the most learned in this city. I'm far from a scientist of any sort, but upon my oath, I will attempt to heal and do what I can. If you leave this with me, I will try to find some good that can be done with it.
That's good, because to be honest, I've been out there in Palemore on this night that never ends. And there are not going to be a lot of people like you around. I need you to do good. And I hand it to her. Covered up.
Okay. She will sort of take it from you and just kind of holding it close. She kind of turns and you see her very gently place this on a stone table that's behind her. The table itself is kind of covered in bits of bone. There's a skull that seems to be on a stand, almost like an anatomical model. There's a few other tools and things on here. She just kind of places it very gently down and then turns back to you.
We need to... Oh wait, you probably don't know the Alabaster District. I'm sorry. I'll take care of it.
Rude.
I don't know. Gurney's an asshole.
So it is the rich side of town.
I guess.
Yeah, nice.
And I just turn to all of you guys and like, I mean, we're heading out, guys. You got any more questions?
No. I'll look at her just with judgment.
Let's be off.
Stay out of trouble. And I'll say that to Amelia. Good.
Be good.
Yeah.
Say your prayers at night.
Yeah.
Eat your veggies.
All right. So you guys finish, unless you have any other business, you kind of finish up what you have to do in this apothecary store, and you can at length make your way back out into the cathedral district. It is, obviously, it is fairly dangerous, so having a destination in mind is probably a good idea.
We want to head into the depths of the Alabaster District hopefully without getting into too much trouble along the way.
Okay.
Yeah, back alley, right?
You're gonna need to cross the bridge back to the central Palemore to do that.
God damn the bridge.
Stupid bridge.
Just swimming.
Well, nothing really has happened to us on the bridge, right? It's just like
Yeah,
really
Nothing
freaky
happened
now
to
that
us
I
on the
remember.
bridge.
It's just
Something
a
did
bad.
that. Okay.
It's a bad place to be caught.
Yeah, okay.
We need guardrails or something.
Okay.
I lead our lovely troop there in that
Yeah.
case.
That's why they invented running. Let's do it.
Okay.
I guess I'm going to. Our goal right now is to get into the Alabaster District, search for people who are alive, ask them, hey, do you know the lovely lady Ileana? We'd love to talk to her. And
Okay.
we'll see if that works out in our favor, which it probably won't. But
Search
try
party. Yeah, search and rescue party.
Search
I
and
like
rescue.
it.
We already have
I
lots
like
of.
it.
Yeah, we already have 2 places we can send people if we find them. So we'll do some good along the way if we can.
Nice.
All right. So
Or it likes this quest.
Gurney, I will, because you are the sort of navigator and the one that is the most familiar. I'm assuming that in the process of looking for the district, you will probably check the maps that you carry, your records of various layers of the city. You know almost certainly you can get to the Alabaster district
A resplendent offering.
by heading across the bridge to Central Palemore and then up there's a gateway that leads to the you can either get there from the Academy Ward, or you can take a road around the Academy that's going to kind of wind up and around the back. It's sort of like a central plaza kind of travel way, and there's going to be a large gate at the top of that because the Alabaster District is completely walled off. The towers and the buildings in it rise like spires that climb high into the sky. However, you are almost positive that there is that you can kind of connect there via the cistern, which is sort of a part of the sewer system. You can possibly head there from where you are. You would have to try it. The cistern is one of your big landmarks for the underground because it's sort of like a switchboard for sewer passageways.
Oh,
So
I'm so excited.
the only problem is you've never actually been there.
Keep it down, Gurney. Jesus, we're still sneaking.
All right, here's what I'd like to do. So, you're telling me that there are 3 technical paths I could take. One is by the Academy, which is close to that area. The next is sort of on land around the Academy. And the last one is through the cistern underground that will hopefully connect me to a sewer grate in the Alabaster District. Because I'm thinking what I'd like to do, let's check on that complex cistern. Let's see if anybody else is being smart and using those alongside me.
The sewer system, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think we could...
I'm surprisingly into sewers this time for some reason. I think now I got a spear. I think we're gonna do a lot better in there.
Oh,
It's a
totally.
it's a good sewer weapon.
Mm.
Usually I like to stay above ground in the light, but I think the sewers is a wise decision.
Yeah, moonlight doesn't suit you, Uther.
I'll follow you, Gurney. Let's do it.
Felix, you up for this?
Yeah, I mean, as much as I'm up for anything.
You look like you're doing better.
I think so.
Just worming my way through life.
Oh.
Okay.
All right.
Nice.
So what's your
Thanks,
plan,
Gurney.
guys?
We are going to the cistern.
Okay.
We're
Let's do it.
Okay. You actually, I believe you came up through the sewers in the Cathedral Ward. No, that was in the Central Ward. You can find sort of a sewer entrance. It's you have to sort of exit the apothecary and then make your way through a few alleyways, a few buildings. You can see, as you guys remember, the streets when you were last here are still kind of just as full of patrolling, mobs of men. You saw them kind of taking part in some gruesome display in a central courtyard or something like that, tearing into this beast that they had hoisted and crucified on this large fountain or statue. So it seems like other members of these sort of beastly mobs, torches and pitchforks, are still patrolling the main streets around you and dipping into the side streets, kind of looking for beasts to burn. Gurney, you actually you will get a glimpse as you're leading the party in and out of very narrow alleyways and ducking into buildings and this and that. You see a group of white-clad individuals that are marching down a street, probably only about 30 feet from where you are. These guys are big. And you see them. They're wearing white robes that has been almost completely stained with dirt and blood. The white is almost gone. Some of them are carrying on their shoulders huge slabs of wood. Look a tree trunk or a marble column. Another one is dragging what looks like a giant cartwheel. Or some sort of heavy wooden wheel banded with iron behind them, and they are just kind of like almost white executioner hoods on their faces. They are slowly kind of grinding down the street.
Look, it's the local CrossFit gym. Actually, yeah, these guys aren't reminiscent of Marquia, are they?
Their outfit looks similar.
There's a lot of them, you said, right? And they're big.
There's about 5 of them, and they're decently sized men. They're probably bigger than Ulrich.
Shit.
Yeah.
He stands up a little straighter, and he's just like, "They're not big. Damn it, they are a little bigger than me, you guys. Yeah, this isn't a good idea."
This is simple. We just stay out of sight. Sweet. These guys have been busy. They're fine. They're fine.
They've escaped justice today.
You'll get your chance. I guess
God,
we'll
give me patience.
And we'll try to run around them. Well, not run around them, but try to keep out of sight and go into some of the
We can
nearby
even just
alleyways.
we can chill for a moment and just let them pass, right? Aren't they kind of just like, those guys are always usually just kind of like moving?
Yeah, I guess so.
Are they like on the prowl? Are they like looking around, or are they kind of marching? Like,
Because if they're looking around, we should probably move.
yeah, but if they're in tunnel vision, I was gonna say let's sneak up behind him and attack, but no, that's silly. Let's still just let him pass.
Yo.
No needless fighting.
Why do we hide from them? If they're like Markaya, they should be friends. Allies, even.
Markaya was in the Waking Dream. We have no idea what these folks are in this Palemore. I don't trust them. I don't trust much in this Palemore.
I'm kind of with Gurney. I don't feel the risk is worth the reward.
Very well, but I see no problem with them.
In that case,
You'd rather not.
I'd rather not, Felix.
All right, we'll write a letter, put it in a bottle, roll it out onto the street. When they open up and read it, they'll be like, "Are you a friend?" Circle yes, or no. Circle no, and then they can roll it back into the shadows.
Cute. Very cute. I don't have a bottle though, I'm sorry.
Damn it.
I'll make a paper airplane for you.
There you go. Okay.
Hey.
Alright. Well, yeah, I'm for as much as I love smashing stuff. Because Markaya was actually heavy duty, and if these guys are anything like half his size, that's pretty formidable. So I'm up for just letting them pass. TBH.
If it's possible, we'd like to stay put, keep quiet, let him pass.
Okay. All right. So as you guys are hanging out, you guys sort of crouch down in the shadows here, and you see these people grinding along. Roll me a perception check.
Well, of course. I don't have anything in perception. That's all right though. I trust my 1d20.
Nice.
I have a lot. Actually, could I just use? No, maybe I'll say. I was gonna use one of the. Can I just use my inspiration to give me advantage?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Here we go. Okay. I got a 20. That explodes.
Should I even bother typing in my roll?
24.
Okay. So as you're kind of crouched down in the dirt, you're kind of listening for the sound of their steps, and you can't see their faces under their kind of white hoods with the eyes sort of just black eyes cut out of them, but you can almost hear echoing down the alleyway at you. You can almost hear a sound that they're making. They're not talking. You can hear some, but that's not really what's kind of weirder than that is you almost hear a sound that's as they're
They're like sniffing almost. Or
kind of
like
shifting their gaze around. They seem to be moving very slowly. You're not quite sure if they're moving towards you or if they're hunting something else, but they are definitely hunting something.
They're like big Amelias. They can smell. We better leave.
Yeah, I haven't showered, and I don't think you guys have either. So I say, well.
Oh, don't worry about it. This thing stinks all the time, and I just like start. No, we'd like to leave now. We'd like to find the nearest underground gate and start making our way towards the cistern. Or we have to cross the bridge first, don't we?
To get to the cistern, no, you're gonna have to find.
Yeah, I thought we were using the cistern.
You're gonna have to find a sewer
bypass.
to travel through. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Gotcha.
This is a great time to find the sewer.
Yes, please.
So
that
you're
will mask our scent.
as you kind of hurry your pace up and you start darting between alleyways. Gurney, you kind of stumble upon this sort of crossroad behind a couple of buildings. There's actually you're sort of, you kind of have to kind of go over, like there's a ledge. It's sort of like these come to a crossroads and then there's a drop down, and on the drop down you seem to be landing on like the awning of a building kind of below you, because it looks like this part of the city is kind of built on a downward slanting hill. As you're kind of looking down, you can actually see sort of the sewer grate. It's a large metal kind of grate manhole cover that's probably about 100 feet down the alley. However, you hear a very strange noise coming from just off to the right. You hear kind of like a wet crunching or tearing sound. It sounds like someone or something is ripping apart something very wet.
Yummy. Can we get some eyes on that, please?
Yeah, you can sort of peer around very, very slowly. You see a man. It looks like a man. He's not covered in fur or particularly hairy or anything like that. He's actually, in fact, shirtless from the waist up, and he seems to be hunched over a few bodies, and you're almost positive that the sounds are coming from him.
Oh. In that case, do we now? How busy does he look?
Is there like a way around him, or is he like blocking the path?
He's just sort of off to the side of you. He's not necessarily blocking the path, but you'll have to pass pretty close by unless you wanted to loop all the way around.
You know what? I'm just going to go ahead and mind dredge him. Oh, hello, cat. I would like to peer into his delicate mind, see how crazy he is.
I think that's pretty crazy.
All right. So you have to roll against his defense, I believe.
Something like that. Let me double check for you, because it's been a while since I looked inside someone's beautiful brain. Oh, I could do it at a power level. It has to be power level 4, sadly.
Okay.
So I just have
that
to
means
beat the power level.
a DC 18 check.
It's against his will.
Against his will. Yeah. Okay.
It's a bane.
Go ahead and roll it.
Okay. I don't think this is... You know what? Should I use a nat 20 for this, guys? What do you think?
Up to you.
My precog is pretty beautiful. If this turns out bad, I have several available options. Here we go. That did not work as I wanted it to.
Could have been better.
I try to
All right.
I try to peer into his brain.
You are going to you sit down and just focus, and as you feel you feel yourself focusing your mind, you feel yourself tuning out other sounds, and you reach out and you can just see him, and for a second you can just hear, almost hear his thoughts, the surface thoughts. They're fairly scattered and fairly disjointed, but before you get a chance to really get a grip and listen and actually hear the words or make sense of it, you just kind of like lose the connection as he kind of like looks up, and you can't see his face. He's facing away from you, but
Yeah.
you can you see him like looking like as if something just disturbed him.
Oh gosh, I make the smoke from my mask go away, and I just whisper, "Yeah, I can't touch this guy. I don't think I want to."
Felix is just going to kind of walk out and say, "Hello there."
Felix, what are you doing?
So you want to kind
to
of,
this neck of the woods?
are you gonna drop down to the ledge, or are you just gonna stay up, or you stay up on top
I'm
of the
gonna
ledge?
kind of stay up where I am. but-
Okay, he
Let's meet the neighbors.
he just quickly turns around and looks at you, and you see his face, mouth down his chin, in the front of his chest is just covered in blood, and he looks up. He's like, "Oh, hello. I thought you were one of them. Crazy night like tonight, ain't it?"
Yeah.
You got something in your teeth.
I reach around and I try to like tug on Felix's like coattails on. Felix, what are you doing?
Felix is like walking slow. Felix is gonna walk slowly towards the ledge, and just jump down to him.
Okay.
Ah!
You jump down on this wooden awning, where he is sitting, and you can kind of see that tucked in the corner between these buildings, what looks like a pile of garbage and bodies, possibly wrapped up in body bags or something that had just been either dragged here or tossed here. And there is definitely one, like, blood is splattered all over the floor here, as he has clearly been doing something, and he's just kind of like, he's stood up now, and he's just kind of looking at you, almost as if nothing has happened. He says, "Oh well, you gave me a fright there, but glad to see there's others still alive in this city."
I reveal myself. I drag Ulrich and Vesper with me. Just, come on. Let's make sure Felix is okay. Here we go.
Okay, yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it. Oh, okay.
I was gonna wait just to jump down in case it got bad, but you're right. Let's. He doesn't seem hostile for.
He doesn't
despite
seem
appearances.
So he's kind of talking. Sorry, just a little bit distracted.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
We're
being invaded.
Yeah, he's talking to Felix. Felix, you're kind of staring directly at him. What do you want to do?
Trying to decide how Felix is supposed to react to this, because there's a lot of blood, but also things have changed a little bit. Felix is going to kind of walk towards him and just sort of like kind of be looking past him as he addresses him, looking past him towards like the bodies and the pools of blood. And be
Oh
like,
no!
I almost think at this point I would know Felix is untrustworthy around blood, so maybe could I like grab his like collar and be like, whoa, hold on.
You gotta
like,
jump down there.
Ease up. I thought we did jump down yet.
Oh yeah, I
I'll-
guess we
I'll
did
come
jump down there. Okay.
Yeah, I'll come
Okay.
down and yeah, just be like, whoa, like not so fast, like. It's
All
not
right,
safe
so you kind of take a step down and you grip kind of the back of Felix's coat as
just
he looks like he's
yet. It's like maybe not so fast.
kind of getting distracted.
Felix, how you doing, buddy? Also, hi, hello. I wave to the guy.
A new follower.
Just
I
fine,
don't
Danny.
wave. I give him a nod though. I'll give this guy a nod, like.
He said he's just kind of seeing you. He says, "Friends of yours, well, I hope you don't mind. You be on your way, I'll be on mine. All right? Let's not give each other too much trouble.
Well, we don't want to give each other trouble, no. But we frequent this area. It's better that we get to know each other a little bit.
What kind of trouble have you gotten yourself into, boy?
Hey, no trouble here. He kind of like wipes his mouth a little bit. It doesn't do much. Off on his arm, his kind of sleeveless arm, and he's just kind of looking around at you. He says, well, hey, speaking of, are there more of you? Like, not beasts, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
No.
Oh.
Classic. Well, what do you mean, beasts?
What do you mean, us?
We're a performing troupe. We talk in riddles like that.
Well, if you ain't turned, then I mean maybe there's a place where those of us still alive can go. If you know what I'm saying.
Well, I'm gonna be honest with you, friend. There aren't a lot of people that can be called alive and well right now. We do know, however, that there is a place that we're hoping to gather some. Do you know where Reardon Chapel is?
I do? Yeah.
Now listen, I don't know how safe that place is right now. As far as we know, you're the first person we're gonna tell about that place.
Well, that's mighty kind of you, friends. Well, is there, it's safe from monsters and whatnot?
Yeah, there's a delightful little fellow there. He keeps I don't know how, but he keeps the lanterns lit pretty well. You just tell him that Gurney sent you, and he should let you in. Note, why are you covered in blood?
Yeah, what was this guy doing out here? Like, did we ever ask him that? Like,
No, you haven't asked them.
And
yeah,
as
I'm
I-
about to get a very aggressive negotiations,
Yeah,
Jedi
and
style, right?
as
Felix is like tugging at like you're tugging on his collar. He's trying to go
Yeah.
forward.
Oh god, it's like a dog. Like,
as Askren, as I ask this, I'm gonna spend a natural 20
A new
to
follower.
go ahead and just. I like to pick his brain as well
Yeah.
as
good.
see what he says and see what he actually thinks.
Okay. So I will. Well, all right. So you wanna roll a nat 20 to probe his mind?
Yeah, I can do Mind Dredge, and the DC you said was
Fuck yeah.
18, but I guess we'll see what else I can do with that. So I'll roll naturally, and then we'll add a natural 20 to that, I guess.
Well, yeah. Just so you have a nat 20, so that's already exploded. So just roll and add that to
All right.
to a 20.
Nice.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. I thought it was
41.
Okay, nice.
All right.
That's awesome.
Um.
I saw the one. I was like,
Now that I have a clearer view of him, I think I
yeah.
can do this.
Yeah, you can see into his eyes, which means you can see straight into his mind.
It's all about the eyes!
You look at him and you just kind of focus. You can feel that his thoughts are like scattershot. They're barely cogent. They're like shooting this way and that way. You know, he's thinking. You know, he's thinking about you guys, about safety. You mentioned safety. He has images kind of flashing through his head of of like a home of people. You can you can feel you can feel his like hunger in him. You don't get the sense that you definitely get the sense that this man is deranged. He has seen things that have probably at this point turned him in some form of raving mad. Though how exactly that forms, because he's able to kind of form cogent sentences and talk to you guys. You're not quite sure. But yeah, he doesn't seem to be outwardly dangerous to you. He's not thinking about harming you or anything. In fact, ever since you mentioned shelter, that's pretty much like he's just, it looks like he feels like he's ready to just run there.
Okay, so genuine fear we're getting from him, or I guess only Gurney gets it.
Yeah. Listen, what's your name?
Give me 1 second. He says, "Oh, hi. I'm Barton. Who are you?"
Barton.
Yeah.
Felix.
I'm Gurney. Gurney Abel.
Well,
Ulrich.
nice to meet you.
So listen. And listen close. You've survived out here. You've probably had to fight a bit, right? Get into a scuffle with some of the nasties that like to roam the streets.
I like to keep out of sight if I can. The blood of the dead helps keep them off your trail.
The blood of the dead.
Aye, it's cold, you know. It's not
Oh,
doesn't draw 'em.
that's a clever idea. You're a clever man. I think you're a man. Anyways,
We all gotta survive. So about this chapel. You go your business. I'll go about mine, right?
Go with God.
listen, we're going to one of the other districts. And when we come back, I want to hear good things about the chapel. And your influence there. If not,
I'll point the spear at him. Ka-chink! Your influence.
Word of our community's acclaim spreads.
All right, he says, it influence, yeah, right. I'm a regular son of the people, you know. Good egg, as they say.
don't go bad. We'll be checking in here and there on the chapel. I expect to see you there. And I expect to hear good things.
God
He
will be watching.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that sounds good. Right. I'll see you then. Later for us. And he's like,
I hold out my... Ooh, before he goes, though, I hold out my hand.
okay.
And I say, shake on it.
He'll kind of reach forward and kind of like take your hand with his like sticky kind of bloody kind of hand, like, you know, mitt, and just gonna slowly shaking it while looking at you with these kind of wide eyes, this kind of smeared blood down his chin. He says, friends then?
Friends and acquaintances. One prior to the other. Best of luck to you, Barton.
Oh, and you too. Good luck on whatever it is you're doing. Be a shame if you came back dead.
I just nod. I just nod.
This guy.
Ooh.
It's funny. He's like the most normal guy I think we've met.
This
though.
is one of the
To be
most
honest,
normal
right?
people we've ever met. If only he wasn't smeared in blood.
Yeah. I think he's just scared out of his mind, nervous, like, to be honest. But
I think he might have been a cannibal.
I think he's sweet. Let's keep him.
yeah.
All right. As he departs, we shall depart as well. And I'm gonna wave to Vesper like, boy, howdy, what a day.
Yeah. Oh, aye.
You've been looking out of it. You feeling all right?
There's a twinkle back in your eye now.
Oh, I'm all right. But ooh, yeah. What a day.
Oh man.
Welcome back. Well, welcome back to the nightmare.
Oh yeah. Well, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Oh.
Good morning. Prepare for a bad night.
Oh yeah. By the way, just to bring you up to speed, we're going to the Alabaster District. It is apparently very ritzy.
We're looking for Ilior?
Ileana.
Ileana.
Do you happen to know her? She's the consort to Lord Simon.
I can say that I've met Liliana, but I don't. I wasn't sure if she was still alive.
Well, we're hoping.
So she's.
We're hoping that she is, because she may have some answers to Lord Simon. Because right now, Vesper,
She might. That she might.
Because we're learning things about this guy, and it's not looking good. So we're gonna continue pulling this thread as far as it can go.
Yes, please do.
Oh yeah, that was Barton. He's going to Reardon Chapel. We'll take you there someday, but
he's our new friend.
He's our new friend. If he turns out to be a problem, I give you full and utter positive reinforcement to kill him if something bad goes wrong at the chapel, okay?
Roger that.
Good to know.
Yeah.
And
And
that.
with that, I say...
Stole.
Ooh. With that, I say we continue on to our lovely field trip to the Sister.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going. The plan is to go underground. Yeah.
Yeah, we're
Felix
going.
will pause for a second at the bodies and just sort of run his hands through the blood, but seeing that it's all cold, seems to lose interest.
Sorry. So you want
oh God.
you want to check the bodies?
Yeah, just looking at him. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
There
nice.
is a female corpse on the ground that looks like its stomach has been pretty well torn open. There are bits of viscera and stuff that have been pulled out, and yeah, it's someone went to town, kind of chewing on this. There also seems to be sort of a lump of kind of mashed up flesh nearby, which you can just make out like bits of very, very tiny bones in.
I'm pretty sure Arthur might have been eating these people.
Well, guess what, Felix? We know where to find him now because we sent him there.
Yeah, we did.
We don't have time.
Who was that Reardon Chapel again? That was like
Oliver.
Cripple Bro, right? Yeah, little.
Yeah, Oliver runs the Reardon Chapel.
Little legless Oliver.
Ah!
Oh God.
So listen, if he turns out to be a problem, we know where to find him. He's not going to be roaming the streets causing trouble. That was my intention the entire time.
And Oliver will tide him over till we get there.
Of course, he needs someone to talk to. We've so
That was the plan. Yeah.
Sate his appetite for a brief while.
Oh goodness.
Uh,
Well, he will receive swift and just retribution.
all right, let's continue on. Get me to that sewer.
All right. So you guys can venture in to the sewerway. As you make your way into the storm drain, you head down the grate and into the tunnels below. And as we're doing that,
A resplendent offering.
Jesus Christ. As we're doing that, oh God, fucking bubbernot. Vesper, you find you are able to tell the group that we'll give you some more information when you guys when you get there and when the questions come up, but you are able to tell them a little bit more about the Alabaster District in particular, and Magistrix Ilyana. You're from the last time you recall. You don't know much about her private life, but you knew she was always enamored with huge parties, like extravagant parties, and she was always one to pursue ever more what's the word? Strange and new pleasures.
Oh, unusual.
Exotic.
It was a
exotic.
trait that she seemed to share with quite a few of the other wealthy in the district. But that was you haven't seen her in quite a while.
No, I haven't. I really had thought she might have succumbed to
The blood.
the Queen's dynamic experiments.
Well,
Good
so
way to
to
put that.
speak.
Positive.
well, think of
Very
it this
positive.
way: it can't possibly be worse than the vivisectionist. It can't.
I don't believe that there's. I have lost all concept of worst. Every time we say that,
Just
things-
taking the day by day here.
I'm just trying to
6
find a
of one.
silver lining. That's all.
Six of one, mayhap 6 of one. But I haven't seen many more things as horrific as the vivisectionist. True.
True. Well, just keep
A
close.
gleaming endowment.
I'm not sure what to do with all these.
Yeah.
Speedy,
Another one for
need to
Bernie
roll
Daly.
over
He's
again.
stealing the show.
I need you to roll me a d53.
Ah!
You guys are killing me today. I don't know what to do.
There are so many more plot points that these cards are adding, aren't there?
A 4. Oh, okay.
Good luck.
No, not that.
Actually, yeah, I need to use the restroom too, so I'll be
That's
right back.
fine. While I'm doing this, for those of you who don't know, I don't tend to read off donation and follower names in the middle of Writhing Moon, but I think you guys are making it difficult to keep that promise, to keep that going. So, thank you guys. Seriously, I will shout out and
Yes.
show love to all of you at the end because I love all of you so much. Speedy, you draw this.
The Ace of Cups.
Yes.
It's pretty cool. A lot of cups.
All right. So let me put
Or
that
a
with
single
you.
cup.
Let me put that with your other cards here. Which one? Yours
know
is.
Holy Grail.
Which one is yours?
Oh my
The
gosh, so many more
sun.
cards.
Yeah.
On the far right.
There we go.
What is happening?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my
We got some. We
Super
got.
Lady
play poker.
Grantham.
For those of you those of you guys who are new in the chat, each of these hero cards is another storyline, another plot thread, something that the players will have to encounter or deal with in the future. What exactly they mean, we don't quite know, but rest assured, they all are kind of a thread that weaves through the world. Not sure how. Yeah. So basically the way it works is Speedy has just drawn the Ace of Cups. Now that is going to sit with him. What exactly the Ace of Cups stands for, we don't know, or it is a mystery, but at some point in the story, it will become clear what exactly that means for all of them. So lots and lots of story points for you guys to get through. But you guys, so thank you. Where was I?
We're going in the sewer.
That is.
We're going in the sewer.
That is what you were doing.
Get your rubber boots.
I was thinking of a Ninja Turtles
And your
reference
brown
or something. Cowabunga!
This is the worst kind of spelunking.
No, Gurney does this on his Saturday nights. This is easy.
When
This
I
is
was a
good
kid,
time.
actually,
Well,
I
then
did
lead
that.
the way.
Oh, really? You went underground in the sewers?
Yeah, it was the coolest idea until we got like a little too far and it got really gross and really wet. And it was like, this is the worst idea ever. Let's get out of here.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm
Oh,
glad you have
gosh.
some personal
We got
experience.
super claustrophobic, super gross, real quick. Yeah, real quick. But hey, it's time to be cool as a kid. Like, yeah, we can travel underground anywhere.
All right. So,
Oh,
as you guys make your way into the sewer tunnels, you're going to descend for a little while through a very narrow passage. It looks like you're not in a large aqueduct, but more like a sluice that is taking wastewater down from the cathedral ward, just deep underground, and Gurney, you're sort of able to follow this. You've never really mapped these ways, but you are able to kind of follow your intuition. You know that a sluice will have to lead to a drainage duct, and so as you continue, you've actually been in one of these drainage ducts before. It opens up before you. There are the kind of grimy, horrid brick walls that sort of rise into an arch above your head, and it's pretty much just like thigh deep with murky brown horrid water that you end up sort of being deposited in. What you see is just a long tunnel that extends in both directions, so you will sort of have to pick a way to go, unless you'd like to look for some sort of clues that can help you find your way.
I'd certainly love to look for clues to find my way.
Okay, roll me a perception check.
Perception check. Hey, how about I use one of those natural 20s to help me?
Oh.
If you'd like to, go for it.
Because guess
Why not?
what?
Yeah, why save it for when we need it for, life-saving situation using it?
This is a life-saving situation. Do you want to keep waiting and poop forever? I would get a 20, I guess?
Plus a 20.
Oh wait, no, it's natural 20. What did I do? So wait,
So
do you want me
plus.
to roll again? 'Cause
Yeah, that's how it
I
works.
messed that up.
No. You get a natural 20, which means it's already exploded.
Oh,
Okay,
this
so
is-
just the first one then.
Wow. Wow. All right. All
So
right.
just the 18 then, right?
Well, 18
Or so,
plus.
so it'd be 38 then.
Yeah.
Oh,
Right,
man.
nice.
So
case, I
Still
just-
kick ass, dude.
Oh yeah. I'm pointing out how even in the murky
Big ass
poop
roll.
slots, in the poop chutes of Palemore, look how much attention to detail is down here, guys. Beneath this murky grime is the glorious bowels of our wondrous city.
what you can
Oh
see
yes, it's beautiful.
what you can see is that this sewage duct is it actually the walls themselves sort of rise, they kind of arc over your head, but you're pretty sure that if you follow this down, you can see sort of the metal grating. So if you follow this down for just a bit, there's a telltale metal grate, which means the water is going to drop down into a canal. The canals, as far you don't know this particular area, but you've seen them before. The canals have walls that are probably about a little higher than your head, and then above that they have like more tunnels that branch off them that drop water into those. So once you get to the canal, you can probably follow that either to multiple directions. The cistern that you're looking for, as far as you know, should have been northwest or northeast from your position. So that's generally the direction you're going to have to head in.
Let's do it.
We
I
go
can-
in this direction, and I'm trying to make sure my maps don't get poopy.
All right.
I'm sure your maps are already a good bit poopy.
I could lead too if you want, Gurney. Like point the way. I could lead with the spear just in case we run into anything.
You know what? You're
Just in case
smart.
you want
Let's
me to be
do
in the
that.
front. Yeah.
I am all for that.
Nice.
All right.
Trying to keep it out of the poop too. This is a fresh golden spear. I do not want any. It's like, oh god, pale.
Well, you know, then again, a little bit of muck might take the reflection off.
Am I?
Just-
Yeah. Let's code ourselves to disguise ourselves in this.
We'll use that one guy's
Oh, no.
technique. But we
Yeah,
Natural
we'll leave it.
camouflage.
We'll follow Barton's lead.
Oh no!
least-
Are we
yeah.
really doing that? Are we doing
No!
that?
No,
You go, I'll go.
No!
But hey,
No, I like to think that since he rolled so high,
Following
we're a
lead.
little cleaner than we would have been.
We need to cover
Slapping
our
up.
scent, though. Remember, they can smell us.
All right. So Ulrich, you are leading
it's
the
gonna
way.
happen eventually.
You're leading the way, kind of spear out, just looking. You can hear the kind of the running water, the noise of like water over stone in various places. And as you kind of slowly trudge along this canal, this passageway, you're looking around. You're trying to keep your eyes peeled, looking for anything that looks out of the ordinary. Gurney is able to sort of direct you to this metal gate and down into this canal. You guys actually can, if you'd like to, sort of climb up on the walls of the canal and sort of walk on the walk out of the sort of waist deep water if you'd like.
Yes, just picking up my skirts and doing that.
All right.
I'm trying
I
not
guess
to get
if
stuff
everyone
in my
uses-
hole, my chest hole. I'm like trying to be like,
Oh.
Keep it above water. That's a good idea.
Oh no!
Yes.
Wow.
It's already infected. Don't worry.
Hey, there you go.
It's gonna infect the water. That's what I'm worried about.
You climb up onto this stone wall, and you're walking along. You have to step over these little kind of rivulets of sewage that are coming out of tunnels in the walls. Probably not big enough for you to walk through, but just enough for like just tunnels that drop water down into the sluice. And it kind of continues to curve. You are, however, going to hear very noises begin echoing up from this chamber as you're making your way deeper and deeper. You can hear quite a bit of sort of activity. It doesn't sound like it doesn't sound like people. It doesn't sound like voices. It sounds like some kind of heavy, sort of wet, squelching sound.
I think it's clogged.
I'll take a clog over a rat or something any day.
As you turn, you kind of come to the corner, Ulrich. You're actually listening, and echoing up from the chamber just around the corner, you hear like a wet.
Am I getting like kind of like a footstep pattern from this, or is it just like almost like is the sound slowly getting louder, or is it kind of just like matching with us getting closer to it?
It doesn't sound like it's getting closer. It sounds like it's somewhere on the down that tunnel. It's rhythmic, so it's kind of regular, like it's fairly regular noise, but it doesn't sound like it's moving.
I'll just try to bring it to everyone's attention. And it's like, boy, you hear that? And I go, shh, and everyone stop their moving in. You hear that squelching?
I'd rather not. Do you think it's somebody? Or something?
Something.
Something?
Well, it's something. We don't know if is it a rat or a
Mm.
or a guest we don't want to run across.
Let's maybe let's just try to like
Move
stealth
quietly?
it. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking right now. Like let's Yeah, let's try to not slosh at all. Like go super quiet.
All right,
Yeah.
I guess.
Give me one
Yeah,
sec.
stealth, super stealth.
All right, let's do it.
What did we roll?
You can. I'm not really gonna make you roll for it. If you'd like to, like to be quiet, just give me just 1 second to find something
Let's
Nice.
let's all do the alligator thing and get this up into the water.
Oh God.
Hey,
Me and Speedy are gonna have beards full of that afterwards. That's gonna be tasting it afterwards.
oh no!
here. Okay.
No worse.
Okay.
It's gonna happen eventually. I just know it.
All right.
Doing-
So you guys are gonna try and quietly make your way around the corner.
We're gonna quietly slosh forward.
Okay. You're not really in the water. You're up out of the water a little bit.
Okay, nice.
We're
So
Yes, dainty steps. Dainty steps.
Ooh,
Quiet,
okay, let's
quiet.
yeah, tiptoe, and then let's all keep an eye on the water, and if anyone sees anything,
Ooh,
let us
good
know.
idea. Good idea.
I was just watching or reading that scroll, Lord of the Rings, and beware of the water.
So you guys, you make your way, slowly around the corner, and Ulrich, since you're first, what you're actually going to see, sort of resolving itself in the sort of the darkness ahead of you, is it looks like a very large pig of some sort. It's facing you. And it's just kind of slowly, like its head is slowly listing back and forth, but that's not where the noise is coming from. You can see its face, and that's not what's making
It's
the
not
noise.
matching up. Okay.
No.
Or I'll just give a little like gesture back, like whoa, you guys like SEAL Team 6, like over there. I tried to do a little SEAL Team 6 pig symbol.
I'm sure that's exactly what it looks like.
Yeah, cautiously continue approaching.
Yeah.
So we all see this then? It's
Yeah,
just
I
someone
mean,
standing
you're-
there, but we don't.
Yeah,
we don't see
it
the source of
hasn't.
noise.
It doesn't seem to have taken notice of you just yet.
Okay. Is there any way we can kind of like spread around it and
It's
like kind of
a tunnel. You're gonna have to
it's
pass by.
Okay, chill then.
It's
Alright,
in
well,
the water though, yeah? And we're above it?
Okay. So you were in like a canal with walls that kind of went up and that way. You guys are on sort of those wall sections, and you're going around into a tunnel. So the tunnel itself has solid ground, and then like a channel in the center with water coming by you. So you're not like up to your waist anymore.
Okay, good.
Alright, let's go. Yeah, I'm ready to skewer this
Okay.
piggy.
As you take
Barbecue time.
as you take a couple steps
Let you
down, you kind of all kind of creep down the tunnel, spear in front, Ulrich, seeing how close you can get to this thing. You see the pig's head kind of seems to list a little bit, and all of a sudden the squelching sound will stop, and you hear and you watch as the legs of the pig just slowly kind of plod as it turns sideways, and you see that the pig itself, first of all, is large, probably about 10 feet long by itself. As it turns, you see the entire side of this thing seems to be hollowed out. So, like, just a pit, like, right down into this thing, the cavity of this thing's organs, and crawling out from the sort of cavity in this pig, almost like some very bizarre type of hermit crab, is a pale humanoid looking form, very bluish pale skin,
God,
long spindly arms. You only see what appears to be a torso. However, the head seems to be just a mass of like undulating, almost like feelers or tentacles of some sort. And it seems to, in its mouth, you can see it has brought something up to its face, some kind of red, nasty mass, and it just drops this thing with a splat down to the ground as it turns its way towards you, the pig's body turning with it, and as it cranes its head around, just looking at you guys. We're gonna roll some initiative.
Oh.
Oh my god!
Oh my god.
As you're doing that, I was like, check the clock. All right, this isn't where we're ending the episode.
I don't know.
All right.
Yeah.
Let me hold on. Let me get
Let's
some. Let me get some music on here.
Boy.
Because we need pig music, of course. I'm sure it's going to be Love a Serenade.
And the pig goes oink, oink, oink.
Yeah, I like farting better
Does the
than this
pig
thing.
Oh man, I'm looking for. Hold on. I'm looking for some good
Yeah,
music
where's
here.
my...
I am so scared of
Double
it.
fours. This is
Nice.
Monopoly, right? If you roll doubles, you get to roll again.
There you
If
go.
only.
That's alright. 10 nice in the middle. I'll take that.
All right.
10 for me too.
Cool. I may have put this on too loud, so I'm gonna turn that down a little bit. All right. So,
Nice.
Nicely.
what did so first of all, Felix, what'd you get?
8.
8. Cool. Ulrich.
10.
10. Gurney.
14.
14. Vesper.
10.
10. Okay, let me put you right there, and then of course we have to roll for the pig monster. 1d20 plus.
Oh, wait, do I have?
22. All right. So pig. 22. All right. So that means, of course, that first up, as this thing, as you guys are all kind of caught almost unawares by whatever this thing is, it is going to lunge at you. I'm just rearranging the initiatives here. So this creature is going to, if I can find it, yeah. It is gonna start like scrambling towards you, and you can see the body of this pig's feet start like skittering against the ground, but it kind of keeps coming. You know, it's traveling with it. The thing is not particularly fast, but it moves with like almost surprising agility, and is going to. All right, it is going to just lift its body up, and you can see like this stretching kind of taut pale blue skin of it as it goes to Ulrich, who is in the front. It's gonna raise its body up and let out kind of this bellowing like as it attempts to.
Protect me.
It is going to attempt to slam its arms down and wrap these large hands around you. So that is going to be. This is against your guard.
Bring it on. Jesus Christ.
For a total of 30.
Alright, he gets me for 10 total then.
All
My guard's
right.
20.
All
That's
right.
what I do.
Oh man, that means I gotta find a bane here. So it is going to grab you and inflict the incapacitated bane. As its large hands have kind of pinned your arms and your spear to your body.
Son of a bat.
And as you feel it begin crushing you, these kind of strange, like this cold grasp, you can feel your skin, like almost as if someone is holding like ice against your skin, and you see it's kind of these tentacles are drawing closer to your face.
Jesus.
All right.
Prometheus shit.
So that is the pig. Ulrich is grappled. Gurney, what do you want to do?
Oh, I'm gonna let him have it. I'm gonna go ahead and do a friendly necrotic belly blast.
All right.
Here I go. I'm gonna go against its guard. All right, here we go. Hey, 25.
25 will hit.
All right. And once again, he just takes a step back, unravels his little covering, and just.
All right. So as you kind of pull the bandages off your stomach, you just take a deep breath, and as you focus this hot, like bubbling in your gut, you just force it out into this necromantic blast that is going to smash into. It's going to carve through this pale flesh of this thing, but mostly hit the body of the pig itself. You can see the kind of dead flesh of this kind of pig just withering back even more. All right.
I go, Ulrich! Ah!
Yeah. God.
I'm trying, buddy.
Yeah. Oh God. It wasn't supposed to be like this. Oh goodness. That's all right, dude. That's all right.
It's all right.
It's my
It's
turn.
okay.
Next. No.
All right. That's my turn.
All right.
Nice.
All right. That means next up is going to be Ulrich, who you are grabbed. What do you want to do?
Well, if I'm grabbed right now, yeah. What are my
Yeah.
options,
So
I guess?
you were immobile, so you can't actually leave the space you're in. You're not actually unconscious. You're just held in place.
What if I were to use the nat 20 as my break away from the guard check?
I'll let you use a nat 20 to break away.
Yeah, hell yeah. Because
Do
if
you-
I can,
How do you want to break
Like, you
away?
know,
How do you want to
I
like?
want to freaking actually, I'd like to if anybody's familiar with Dragon Ball Z, I would like to freaking Goku power up, godly charge myself, and use that to, step into rage mode. So kind of my youthful burst slams this dude back to give me an opening to strike, if possible.
Okay. So you just want to strike your way, rage, gain your youth, and strike your way out of this. All right, go ahead and roll it.
Yes. All right, hell yeah. All right, so do I roll the 20, or can I just use that to break away clean and just go right in for the attack roll?
Yeah. Well, go first of
Okay.
all. Go ahead and roll your strength check. So you already have the nat 20, so you get to roll on top of that.
Okay, perfect. All right, my strength is pretty good. Or it says might, right?
Yeah,
Just
might.
a 20. All right. Excellent. All right. Suck it, bitch. Sorry. Boom. Well,
All right,
could've
so
been
a
better.
35. So you just kind of as you feel your muscles bulging, your gray hair almost turns a little bit black as you just kind of
Yeah.
wrench the spear sideways, using kind of the leverage to break your way out of this thing's grip. And as you force its hands open, you kind of drop a foot or so to the ground. What else do you want to do?
Nice. God, give me strength. Go into rage mode, and then I want to just use my my focus strike, which is going to give me advantage +2.
Ooh!
Nice.
All right.
Let's do this. All right, slash roll 2d20. Sorry, 3d20.
Explode that 6.
Yeah.
That was from a 4, but it really doesn't matter that much because he broke free.
Okay.
Good job, friend.
Another giddy. That's chill.
So
Wait,
that's
one, yeah.
that's 10 plus
10.
3 plus 6, and you get to reroll the 6.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. Jesus Christ.
So you got a 19 right now.
+2, 21. I'll take that.
A 21 will hit. It's not an amazing wound, but you do manage to just sort of cut downwards. Actually, do you want to cut, or are you thrusting?
I'll probably want to try to thrust just to get some distance
Okay.
between. us and him.
Yeah, as you stab forward, you just manage to puncture this thing right in its like
Suck God.
it's kind of weirdly skinny rib cage, and you can feel it kind of rear back with a like a scream as it seems to be fairly inconvenienced by that jab as you skewer it and back a step
I'll take an
away.
inconvenience any day on enemy.
All right,
Hell yeah.
Vesper, what do you want to do while this is going down?
Vesper! Get him!
Yeah. Now that he's free, I don't have to worry about that. But I want to end this little creepy Alf in the sewer. So I'm definitely going to seeing my friend get grappled like that absolutely sent me into a rage, so I'm going to fly at him and claw.
Okay.
No.
So as you kind of you just take a deep breath and you just lunge forward. You guys watch as sort of this unseen breeze takes her, and as her hair blows back and her dress kind of blows behind her, it's almost as if her body is like like this spectral blue form just shoots out of her. Her own form is kind of left behind, almost like blown away in a gust of wind, and this screaming spectral banshee is going to charge right at this pig thing. Go ahead and roll me some of those claw attacks. That is using your entropy, I believe.
Yes. 2d10. Okay.
And also remember, if you need it, you have an inspiration and a nat 20.
Let's see what happens. I'll just see what happens. We're not life or death yet. I think I did this right. No, I didn't do it right.
No.
Ah,
No spaces.
No spaces in between the 1 and D.
It's okay.
I see.
There you go.
There we go.
Go ahead and explode that 10.
Ooh, nice.
Yo!
All right. What is that? 32. A 32 is definitely going to be enough to carve through this thing. Do you have a bane you'd like to inflict?
I would like to. No, we don't have them yet. I don't have them yet, but I have.
What do you mean? You should have them. I mean, you should.
You have access.
Yeah, you have access to a bane based on your thing. Let me check.
Reckless frenzy.
Hold
But
on.
I also just want to telekinesis that kid. Can I just throw him?
Wait, what?
The thing that's inside.
The pig. I just wanna force throw that crazy pig monster fella
Yeah.
So you
away
could
from us.
You could do the Bane of Forced move.
Or, force move sounds like the good one.
Yeah, drown that fucker.
Yes! Oh,
Yeah.
that's a great idea.
Yeah.
Time for a swim.
All right. So forced move.
Drown in your sins, beast.
All right. So you as you smash
Leave
into
my
this.
sins out of this and don't call me beast. What?
As you kind of carve into this thing with your claws just kind of rake back as you your body is mostly spectral. So as your claws cut through and leave these kind of glowing these burning glowing wounds, your body just kind of blasts through him spectrally, and you are actually going to kind of take it off balance as it stumbles back about 5 feet, kind of like losing its balance as one of the pig's feet kind of slips off the edge, and it uses its large kind of hands to steady itself. Ulrich, it was blasted off the end of your spear, but the pig, you have got some distance against it. And I will say, because of that, Vesper, you will kind of come like settle like you're right behind this thing, because you swooped through it.
Sure, but I want to get him in the water.
Yeah, it's kind of stumbled off the edge a little bit. It's not like the water's not deep enough for it to drown. It's just like a little rivulet, but it did lose its balance there.
Good deal.
All right. Last would be Felix.
Yeah. before Felix can really decide what he wants to do, does this have the tainted blood? I assume so. Like I can't imagine not.
It's probably not the time or the place to check for that.
Well,
tainted
no,
poop?
I just mean like if Felix senses
get
that would be
an
what would
infection.
immediately send him into his rage.
That's your assumption, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I'm bleeding. If that helps you go into rage.
Sure. Just and think it's for you.
There you go. Nice.
Yeah. No.
Get mad.
Felix is going to go into his battle trance, seeing this strange pig creature, and he's going to pull out his cat's paw, the pitchfork type thing, and he's gonna try and make some sausages.
All right,
And I'm gonna use the inspiration from Ayami to
go for it,
myself
my
a second
friend.
advantage on that.
So advantage 2 you got on this?
Yep. 14.
14 will just be enough to kind of to get you up in this thing's face, not doing a ton of damage to it, but you are kind of up, like you do rush up to this thing and kind of claw at it. Its skin is kind of rubbery and surprisingly resilient against your slashing. Anything else, or is that it?
Pig. That's all. Yeah.
All right. Top of the round comes back to the pig. It is going to.
They rolled high last time. The odds are with us this time, you guys. God is with us. Stay strong.
Okay. It is going to, kind of like turn. It's gonna using one of its hands. It's gonna turn towards you so that the sort of back of the pig is facing you, Felix. And as it does, you see these kind of like the skin itself of the dead flesh of this swine begins to kind of ripple and tear, and as it does, I need you. Well, this is going to be an attack against your. What would it be?
Oh, it's gonna be worse than Gurney's.
It is going to be against your guard, I guess, because it's not toughness. 1d20 plus 18 against your guard.
That'll hit for 1 hit damage.
Okay,
Worms
so
past his guard.
it'll just hit you. So what you see is that this thing, like as this thing swings this kind of dead pig carcass that it is piloting towards you, these things are almost gonna fly out from under the skin, almost like it's whipping these things at you, and
Jesus
only
Christ.
one of them is gonna kind of land on your chest, and the rest kind of fly by. And as you watch, it looks like this large whitish blue slug is just stuck to your chest.
You're just a magnet for these things.
Not again.
And you like at the end of its turn, it is going to this slug is just gonna begin sort of to very slowly start undulating its way up towards you. That is the pig's turn. Gurney, what do you want to do?
We're not having that. I'd like to perform my special attack, the Bile Hyper Beam. So here I go.
Okay.
I'm imagining Cable armor's Capcom 2.
It's super effective.
Bio Hyper Beam.
Bile Hyper Beam.
Careful, that requires a recharge for your next turn.
Oh god.
Hey!
What is that
Exploding
against?
6.
Oh yeah, go
Yes.
for it.
It's guard.
Yes.
18 in total.
That's alright. One's better than.
That will just make it.
Yeah, I'm just like making uncomfortable noises at this point as I'm just like billowing out like constant blasts of necrotic energy towards this thing. Just trying to like rot its already dead carcass out from under its bones.
Yeah. You're kind of like washing this thing with wave after wave of smoking black energy and bile, but it's not incredibly effective at the moment. Anything else you want to do?
At this point, is it blocking the channel that we're in?
Not really. I mean, it's partially in it, but it's not preventing the water from flowing.
Okay. Can we move past it at all?
Yeah, I mean, it's not taking up the whole tunnel. You could in theory.
I'm going to move away from its rear end and try to get to the front of it.
Okay.
And just sort of like motion to all of you, like, get away from back there. That's a volatile. That's a volatile rear end if I've ever seen one.
Good, you haven't met my mother-in-law.
All right. Ulrich,
You
what do you?
married man, Ulrich?
You're married?
Married?
Married to the church.
What a time!
go.
There you go.
Who's the mother-in-law?
Are we getting a? Is this thing bloody at all? Like how much? Like a?
You stabbed it. It's taken a little bit of damage. It's your turn,
It's
Ulrich.
not
What do you want to
bloody
do?
yet. Yeah, right. Okay. Well, I don't know. The idea to run is nice, but I think we can beat this thing. I want to kill it just because it's so disgusting and gross. So, yeah, fuck it. Let's do this. That'll do, pig. I'm gonna go in for the my focus strike again.
Okay. Go for it, man.
I'm so proud of you, Dan.
Oh, I even exploded a 6.
Are you
All right.
joking?
18. Explode that 6.
Oh, sorry, forgot to do the slash roll. Alright.
So that is a 9, 12, 30.
30.
Nice. You guys
Against
see like
against
okay,
this
go ahead,
guard?
sorry. Yeah. Oh, totally against this guard. Yeah.
Is
Okay.
it 34?
Just straight up.
Is it? No,
yeah,
no,
34.
no.
no,
You're
because
you're
oh,
adding the
minus 3.
d20s.
You're right. Yeah.
Oh. Okay,
Yeah.
never mind.
Sorry. Okay. So 8. Oh, what is it again then?
It's a 30.
16. 30. Okay, chill. I'll do that. Yeah. Hell yeah. And again, yeah. Ulrich's young at this point. I guess so it's just like. Yeah, and just like goes in and it starts really digging deep. And I don't know if it's possible. Yeah, flick the switch like halfway through that stab, just so it flicks open in there.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
So as you kind of stab this thing, you puncture down through its stomach, and if you want to hit the
Ooh, yeah,
kind of
can I
expansion.
stab him and then be like, that'll do, pig, and then hit the switch. Boom. All right.
Roll me an
Ooh,
extra
I had time to think about.
roll me an extra d6.
Your pun power.
It totally is fun power.
Pun power.
Oh gosh. Hey, 3s.
All right.
Even
So
Steven.
as you puncture this thing, you kind of pull the lever, and you hear
Yeah.
a whooshing as this sort of spring-loaded blade just shoots out and kind of rips into the flesh of this thing. And as you pull back, you feel the fat and the kind of because the blade is only sharp on one side, you feel it kind of like lock in as you now have this thing sort of skewered on the end of your spear.
Ooh. He's in a bad spot right
Yeah.
now. All right. Can I use that to give anybody else advantage, or I'll just?
I will
either
say,
way,
you know what? I will say because you can only use it once per battle. He is considered immobilized. He cannot move.
Yes.
Whoa.
Now's the chance. I mean, sorry. Now's the chance. Get him.
Strike true.
Yeah.
All right.
Get him for God.
That means that means next up is Vesper.
Get him, girl.
I would like to use another claw strike.
Okay,
Good time for that. Yeah. Go
Yeah.
to town on him.
do it. He's
Freaking eyes out.
held in place.
Bacon time. I think I did this right. Let's see.
You, D20 plus 2D10. Yeah.
Hey.
Chill.
Because he's immobilized, I'll give you advantage on the D20, so you can roll it again.
Nice.
Only slightly
One
better.
more. I'm
Um,
getting really famous for this. The roll advantage one more, just one more.
just one. All right.
one.
So you
One more is still one more.
So you are able to kind of carve into this thing. It's not like huge burning wounds, but you are able to slice into it with your claws as Ulrich has it pinned. Is there anything else you want to do? Do you want to move? Do you want to try and do anything?
I just want to move back away from it. I know that I'm separating
think-
myself from them, but
I'd say go up in front, like where Gurney's headed, just in case. I don't know.
that's what I'm
If this
already
thing
in front
goes-
because I
Oh,
went.
yeah, you.
So
I
I'm
forgot
gonna
that.
keep
Sick.
going that way so that I have a little bit more space for them to wield weapons.
Okay.
Nice.
Cool.
Yeah.
Last but not least, Felix.
Felix has a big grub on his chest. Or
Yeah, he does.
Oh
something.
my gosh!
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he does.
Felix is really freaking out about that. Oh god, not again, no. He's going to just basically take his pitchfork and he's going to try and claw it off of himself.
Okay. Roll me an attack. Roll me a normal attack.
No?
Yes.
Just a normal attack, no added advantage.
Oh god.
Natural 20.
What's a nat 20?
Load it!
On an attack against myself. That's a 30.
That's a 30. Okay. You just quickly, use your claws and you rake down. It does kind of tear a little bit through your shirt, but you just manage to, catch the bulbous flesh of this thing and just whip it down into the ground. And as it kind of hits the ground with a sickly kind of wet smack, you see that your shirt is covered in this strange mucus. But it is off you as you kind of you're kind of looking down and panicking. You know, it's off, but it's still on the ground, sort of slowly moving and twisting and kind of turning.
Can I finish it off any chance? This
You
time?
wanna use your turn to stomp on it?
Step on
Yes, please. And I'm also. What should I roll for that?
I'm not gonna make you roll anything. It can't really move fast enough to really get
Okay,
away from
cool.
you. So you can use your move
Yeah.
action to just
No,
sort of
no,
stomp
no.
down on this.
Away! Get away from my blood! He's also going to just take some sewer water and just use it to try and get this goo off of himself.
Okay. All right,
Cleaning himself with sewer water.
we will get there.
Ooh,
We'll get to that in
mythology.
just a second. All right. So now we are back on this thing's turn. It is going to sort of. It's not
Just in
looking
time.
great. It is just sort of. And the nearest person to it would be. Vesper's there. Ulrich has the spear. Okay. Ulrich. As you have this thing skewered, you just see it kind of with one hand is gonna grab the front of your spear, like not far in front of your hands, and you see it kind of you hear tearing of flesh and ripping as it just pulls itself forward on the shaft of the spear towards you. You hear as both blades puncture out the other side, and it's going to just using all of its strength pull itself towards you. And as you're gonna let go of the spear, well, it is your turn, so you don't really have that option. So
chill.
it's gonna pull itself right up to you, and as it does, it's just using all of its strength to reach out. You see these tentacle-like appendages on its face. It is going to roll an attack with disadvantage against you.
Jesus Christ!
Uh,
I'm trying to blow him away.
no,
Hey!
that was not a roll.
Damn it.
a 10 against you because it has disadvantage.
Oh, yes. Nice try. Yeah, 10 is not gonna break. God.
All right, you see it just before it gets to you, just before it can kind of grip your skull with these strange mandibles. It cannot quite reach. You just sort of like lean back just far enough. As it is slowing down. Gurney, what do you want to do?
All right, I'm gonna go around. I'm gonna
Little
circle
help
around
here.
the pig. Yeah, I'm gonna get right next to Ulrich, and I'm gonna just like let this thing have a full blast of
Ooh, front and center.
All right,
of the yeah
advantage attack.
advantage. Well, thank you. Alrighty.
This
Here we
pig doesn't
go.
have the option to not inhale right now.
All right, and I hold the spear to steady it as I let loose.
All right. So that is a
Alright,
19, 20, 26.
Nice.
26.
Yes.
As you kind of
Nice.
like you kind of take a deep inhale, and you grab the something to steady yourself. You just let out this roiling ripple of black kind of pus-like energy as it just bursts out in a noxious cloud from your stomach, and as it does, you see the body of the pig seems to be being eaten away as its flesh shrivels away from the wound. The pale creature itself is kind of flailing and burning. You see its body very almost too fast just begin shriveling up, and like the pale skin turns black and gray, and as its body kind of shrivels and curls with a horrifying shriek, and it's going to drop like a stone into the water.
Oh shit.
Like a stuck pig.
Wait, it dropped like a stone, or it dropped a stone like a?
No,
piece of-
like a stone,
Sorry.
just
Like
Okay,
into
I
the
got-
water.
I was like, ooh, turn
get
this
that!
stone like right. Dive in, yeah.
it's a kidney stone.
Yeah.
Anyways, after that, I politely cover myself. I cough a bit because, oh man, Ulrich, get it out, get the spear out.
I'll pull it out. And, yeah, just. And maybe have to use a little bit of leg power even. And then I kind of just pat Gurney on the shoulder, like thanks, man. Like,
What the hell was this
that was
thing?
pretty gnarly. It was like freaking this close.
All right.
You all right?
Yeah, I'm all right. You?
Yeah, I'm great.
What about the wrist? And I'll look over towards.
Felix, how's your chest?
Felix is just like furiously pouring the sewer water on it and just like scraping at the wound, trying to get out whatever is in there.
Felix,
Shit.
you can stop that. I think it's okay.
No, it's inside of me. It's
No,
don't use that
it's
water.
happening again.
No, you got it, dear. You got it. It's gone. It's dead. And has anyone seen that pig thing
Dead.
before? Anyone?
Ulrich looks over at Gurney like, I've never seen that.
I wanna inspect this pig
I've
thing.
seen it.
It's in the water.
Well, it's not very deep, right? You said it's not.
It's waist high, so I
No,
guess
no.
you can
This
see-
this water is more shallow. This is a smaller canal
Still.
that's kind of pouring into the bigger one.
Actually,
Still though, is it worth going in?
Does it? I don't want to go in. I just want to really look. Does
What do you want
this
to
thing look?
what do you want to look for?
I'd like to see if this looks at all familiar. Like any of the experiments, any of the
oh, that'd be gross if it like
things the queen
escaped.
was doing.
That's a good idea. That's a really good idea.
Roll me a learning check.
Okay. My learning is.
I'll take that time to go back into old man mode. battles one.
Felix is continuing to just claw at his own chest at the wounds. But as he does so, you can see like the pain is like soothing him a little bit as well.
No.
He's calmed down.
It's like scratching an itch.
Poor boy.
This
Wow.
this thing that you saw is I mean, it barely looked human at all. You've never seen any of the church people. They in your experience, they administered blood. They sometimes performed or they sometimes spoke of of flesh crafting, of altering the physical form. This doesn't look like anything you've seen to do with that. You saw members of the church or users of blood often had sort of physical changes, surgical changes to their bodies, or other things, but nothing that could ever make them look like this. This is completely alien to you.
That's a relief. And you three, anything down where I found you, anything look familiar? Then nothing.
That's a good question. Yeah, I don't think
Or
my
in
character
that
recognized
land-
anything now.
In that other world, in the other place.
I don't know about that pig, but that slug, that thing.
It's gone. It's gone. That was.
It may be, but there's still. I feel it. I still feel it.
Where do you feel it? And you see me point out the spear.
Actually,
It's like the one from before.
Ulrich, I think he doesn't need a spear. I think it's all right. But thank you, Ulrich.
are we certain that we could get it out? Maybe if he still feels it, then.
I'm up to trying to cut it out. Yeah, I'm totally up for that.
Does it seems like he thinks he feels it because he's freaked out about it, but it's not really there.
All right.
So
Again, I don't know if my character knows this. I forget where we landed on if we saw this, but Din the player definitely saw Silver Worm crawl into Felix at some point before. So
Gurney
pretty
personally didn't see
fucking
it.
Real.
Gurney didn't see it, but
Shit.
that's
all
because
right,
he was busy like doing something else.
Yeah.
Our vision was obscured, so
That's
Right.
what
Honest-
it is.
What about this, Vesper? You seem to possess otherworldly talents. Perhaps could you reach in and grab it? I don't know. Maybe if you could. Again, I don't know your sinner's ways, but it's just.
it's not her fault
Thinking.
for being like that. But listen,
First one's free. No. I'm joshing with you. So, I could try, but I fear that I would injure him in the trying.
I'm comfortable with that.
I'm not. This is the wrong place, wrong time. Felix,
But-
calm down.
But could I try to give him a little healing and see if that would drive it out, or stop it, kill it, make it dormant?
Yeah, like repulsed almost. Like kind of.
Ooh. So actually, I have an idea. Felix, you said it. Is it in your stomach now? Do you think?
I don't know. I feel like it's there.
Well, did it go down your mouth, your throat?
No, it just.
Did you swallow?
No, it leaped onto my chest.
Too easy.
Leaped onto my chest, and I scraped it off. I smashed it on the ground, but it was. I still
Poor
feel
fella.
Okay.
Where do you feel it? Where?
it. In this hole and in my brain, my mind.
Felix, I think you're just having.
It's just like the one before.
I think you just.
I
think
think
you're
we can do
fine.
it.
I'm gonna lay hands on him. I'm just gonna just touch his arm just lightly. But while I do, and I say, I think if you just breathe a bit, then maybe I can help. and lay him a little healing?
Hey.
Yeah, if you have if you
Sure.
you can heal him if you'd like.
I'd like to do that and see if I can. Yeah, so if it's like, if it's
Oh, I like the idea that
worms
it might.
like lice or
yeah.
a tapeworm, if I can heal it. Ish.
Maybe that would like burn it or something. Yeah.
So okay, so what do you
Make
what
him feel
exactly are you trying to heal?
Whatever that worm is, or the feeling of it.
The worm isn't in him. It landed on him and he knocked it off.
Yeah, but I think we're talking about like the Tatterman worm. Or the slug.
Yeah.
I think
That-
that's
I
what's
mean-
causing his paranoia.
It might be. I mean,
It might be.
how would you heal that? You don't know exactly. I mean, you're
We
not
have
quite
no
sure.
idea.
That's what I'm saying. No.
Okay.
So you
Yeah, we don't know.
We were hoping. My impression was we were hoping for his physical injuries. We would heal those, and then it would kind of have a reaction to that. He would feel it. and
Exactly.
I would be able to
Exactly.
chop it out of him. But
Listen, we're
maybe
not.
not that last part.
I say to Vesper, if someone needs healing, it's Ulrich. He got beat up pretty bad. I think. Yeah.
Blood coming out.
Listen, let's keep moving.
He's acclaimed.
Let's keep moving because I don't want to run into another one of these things right here. Okay?
All right. And then, all right. All right.
All
If you
right.
come, let's go, and I'll brush Ulrich with a little bit of healing.
okay. Okay.
And I'll
can-
lead everybody else away.
For healing for a healing boon, I believe you just tell me what the power level you want to heal for is.
Oh, 3.
I don't think it matters.
Yeah, 4 is not
Roll
gonna
a
4
four.
is not gonna do much.
Ouch.
No, 4 is not
I don't
unfortunately
even
enough.
heal 4.
No, she has to beat the
Oh,
DC
that's the
to.
D20 roll. Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
You feel
Can
as
I use my do I have a natural 20?
You do have
You have a nat 20.
you do have a nat 20
Let
left,
me-
yeah.
If you're really low, let me do that.
I think
you know
it's
what?
gonna
I
be-
wouldn't say I'm really low, but I am at like 60%. And
Look, we're
I'm
going
the main
into
damage taker, so yeah.
we're going into
Yeah,
a
I'm
place
gonna
that
do
we
that.
don't know. Yeah.
Let's do it.
Yeah,
Use the extra
I'm
20.
gonna use my extra 20 on that.
You get to still roll your stuff, so go ahead and roll your stuff again, I guess.
Ulrich says, I only need healing from my god, but I guess this won't hurt. You know, you can tell him trying to swallow his pride to accept help by normal means.
All right.
And I say, I know, dear. You're so powerful. I know. And I just pat his arm and give him the healing.
All right. So that is
Thanks.
a
Just-
29.
Sometimes I feel like 4.
39. I'm sorry.
Gurney and Felix don't understand how strong I am.
You are. You are so strong.
What,
Immediately starts like.
Quite impressive, really.
which power level did you want to cast it at?
3.
3?
3?
We got about
okay.
10 health.
Okay, so you heal. You're gonna
works.
heal 1d8.
Perfect. Okay. Do I roll that or her? Who's luckiest?
You can roll it.
Yeah, you.
All right.
Better it's on my head. Yeah.
So
I don't
while-
want you to feel the guilt if it's a bad roll.
While this is happening, while he's doing that, what do you
6.
what do you guys want to do? Do you want to
Thank you.
investigate here? Do you want to stay here? Do you want to keep moving?
I want to keep
moving.
Okay.
I mean, I
Yeah.
guess quickly look. Was there anything around here, or is this just like?
there
Does it
was
just
the
seem like the
there was
pig
the
is the
kind of
thing?
pile of reddish goo that it was eating from. You're not quite sure what that was. You could probably take some time to discern it if you wanted to. But other than that, there doesn't seem to be a whole lot much else. Like, this tunnel is kind of caked with debris, mud, and bits of junk along the edges. So it's pretty much just a straight shot from here, as far as you know.
All right,
Straight as a spear.
let's just go.
I'd
I
like
think
to
we
take
know
a
what's
passing...
in that pile.
Yeah, let's take a glance at the pile just to see what it is.
It's flesh.
It was definitely eating something. From what you can gather, you can't tell exactly what it is, other than the fact that there is a lot of mushed up red meat There are bits of bone, and there's quite a bit of kind of bloody, stained fur.
Ugh.
Ooh, it's probably eating one of those rats.
Muskrat,
I hope
Now that I think about it, I'll bet it's one of those rats. I
Good
hope
to
it's one of
know,
those
and
rats.
moving on.
I'd like to just pause. No. Yeah. I'm gonna take a look at the pig thing and the thing that has infested it. It doesn't look like anything that could happen to me, right? It's
I don't know.
That's
Ooh.
yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know.
No, that looked like a.
Why
it was
do you
using the
why do you
pig
think
as a
I know
hoe.
the answers to these things?
Yeah. Anything goes in Palemore. Anything could happen.
True, and because no, I think you're safe. I think that's a vile creature used another vile creature as a host. I think you're fine.
Well, yeah, but
Ish.
I mean, look at it. It's
Yeah.
no,
it's
thank
like a-
you. We're moving on.
okay.
If that
okay.
happens to me, I want you guys to,
We won't let that happen.
before I turn into that.
All right. So you guys,
And I would do the same for you guys.
do you
Let's
guys?
not dwell on it. Let's just keep moving. We're
You
gonna
were the
move.
one that was looking at it. Gosh.
It's
was
hard
ready
to
to
look
move on.
away. It's hard to look away.
Great.
All right.
Moving
So
on.
you guys
Moving
make
on.
your way down the tunnel, and there's not you don't encounter much of anything else. There are strange noises that fill the chambers around you. You do have to kind of take your pace very slowly, but eventually, after trekking for about for a good while, Gurney, you're pretty sure that this way, like you're passing the cistern going going south towards the Alabaster district, and eventually you as along like you've never been up it, but you know that there is a large fountain in the that's marked on the map in the center of one of the plazas there, and the fountain itself needs a water supply, which means that if you as you travel, you expect to find sort of a large reservoir pool with some sort of piping that pumps the water up through this fountain, and once you find that, you'll know you're at least in the district. And it's sure enough, it's not too long down the tunnel when you actually sort of emerge into this large, expansive reservoir. You can hear kind of the great bass thrumming and grinding of stone as somewhere there seems to be some sort of mechanism working. As you can see these giant iron pipes dipping down into the reservoir from the ceiling above. You kind of peer around and you spot that there is a very rusty kind of rung ladder set into the brickwork at the far end of this chamber.
Looks like our way out.
Yeah, only Gurney's seeing that, right? Or we're all seeing that, yeah.
I direct your attention to it.
Where does this ladder go? All right.
Is there a clean water reservoir here?
You don't
I'd like to wash this shit off my chest.
Yeah, you don't know quite how
Splash in the fountain.
you don't know quite how clean it is. It's probably not sewage as far as you're aware.
Gray water.
That's holy water as far as Ulrich is concerned right now. So let's do it.
Yeah,
definitely
just real
go
quick.
for a robe clean. Ulrich's been really wanting a nice wash actually for a little while. So cleanliness is close to godliness now. Come along.
And Felix realizing that putting sewage on his chest, having calmed down, probably wasn't the best idea. He's gonna try and just like heal that wound. Just try and
I'll start a
blood,
splash fight. With
disinfect it.
Felix.
Okay. Are you actually trying to heal yourself, or are you just trying to sort of?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you can roll it. It doesn't really matter much of what you get. We'll whether either you heal a few points or you don't. But once you guys are done doing that, do you want to nat 20? All right, you're you can.
You didn't even
I don't
need,
know what power level you were rolling it at, but you can get your healing.
Sure. I only needed 1 point, so
That's fine.
yeah. I just wanted to like make sure not getting infected with sewage
Yeah.
germs.
Okay.
Or slug.
So once you guys are
Too
done,
clean now.
do you want to make your way up the ladder?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So as you guys collect your wits, you eventually make your way up the ladder. There is a heavy iron grate at the top, and you have to sort of like lift this off and grind it to the side. But as you do, as far as you know, you should be emerging onto the streets of the Alabaster District. And as you step out, you notice once again you feel kind of the strange comfort that is the moon, the full bright moon beaming down on you guys. However, its light is partially obscured as this district is full of towering buildings, mansions with spires that rise high into the sky. You step out onto a cobblestone street that is a bit, the stones are a bit more even, a bit less potholed and filled with puddles than the ones that you're used to, but the streets themselves are lined with quite a number of coffins. Furniture is left out, statuary. It looks like people have emptied houses and things onto the street. The decorations, paintings, like coated in layers of grime and blood, have just been left leaning against buildings here. It looks like quite a few of these buildings have been abandoned or in haste. As you step out onto the street, you find yourself standing in the middle of the richest and the most wealthy and opulent district in Palemore. However, what catches your eye almost instantly is the fact that not just one, but a decent number of windows, most of them a bit higher up than your current position, seem to be lit.
No red lights though, right? Or is there
You see a couple of incense lanterns here or there, but the streets
No
themselves
super-
don't look too swarmed with beasts, or they don't look like they've been hit that hard.
There's definitely a lot more sense of life in this sector.
Do these lights look natural or magical?
They're like the kind of light that would happen if you left a lantern or a candle in the room is lit, is basically what they are indicating to you.
Okay, so they're
Yeah.
really lit. Okay.
Yeah.
So there's live people in this part of town.
Yeah.
They're high up too, so it's like, okay, they're
Good to know.
safe from anything down there. Okay. Well, perhaps we should try to get high up there on one of these.
Vesper, do you know where Ileana lives?
I believe I did. If she's still there now, if any of the nobles are there now, I would be surprised.
Well, one way to find out.
Do I know?
You knew she had a home in this district. She probably had some in other places, but at some point, I believe she began calling her mansion, or referring to it as parties and stuff were hosted here, as the which one? Sorry, let me check my notes.
Yeah, I don't know if everything going on that I knew of in the palace would have made her
Yes.
Approachable.
connected from her family home or name, or because things were not pleasant.
The building that the last residence that you knew of her, she called I'm trying to figure out how to word this. It was the Red Brothel, basically.
By my beard.
She called her home a brothel.
One of them.
just gonna write this down in my notes.
Ulrich
Red Bravo.
blushes and he doesn't know what to say. It's like,
Not even a euphemism.
I'm not even familiar with that word.
I'll
Can't
tell
imagine
you later,
such a
dear.
house of sin.
Gurney just smiles.
Have you been there, Gurney?
No,
Gurney.
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 Oh, what?
Gurney. You
Hey.
devil.
Hey.
You devil Dan.
Ooh. It'll be nice going there since I have a lot more holes now.
No!
How on earth would
Nice.
they figure the fee?
Oh, I'm sure they. No,
I don't
we're
want
not.
to know.
We're not going down this train
New
of thought.
new subject.
Well,
Regardless.
I suppose it's a good landmark to start with. Sir Askren, would I know the direction of the Red Bravo?
Yes, actually, you know it is probably one of the taller buildings in the district. You're gonna have to wind your way through the streets and make your way towards probably the height of the hill here. It kind of sits just in the shadow of the academy, almost.
What a view. I continue on warily because I haven't been on these streets in a while. I guide them as best I can. I am
Okay.
starting a new page of self-drawn maps as I do this.
All right. As you make your way through the streets, you begin to hear noises kind of drifting up from the buildings. You actually pass a very large kind of lit window. There are curtains drawn, so the light inside, the bright light inside, casts a red glow. Through this window, and you can just make out the silhouettes of people moving inside. You can hear laughter, like raucous laughter. There's, there are noises coming from inside. It looks like there are many people, and it doesn't look like this building's the only one. This is just the first one that you're passing by.
Oh. Such ungodly acts, I can't imagine.
Luther, are you a virgin?
Don't ask me those kind of questions. It's hot in here. I mean, out here. Let's just keep moving.
Oh man.
I just chuckle under my breath and I take out, fearing propriety, I take gloves out of my little reticule and I put my gloves on and
Word
just
of our community's acclaim spreads.
keep looking and watching. I mean, does any of this look? I mean, it's all odd.
The district is familiar. You've been through here before. You remember. I mean, it is. You lived most of your life in the palace, but you know that the you know this district decently well. It is the most opulent place in Palemore, especially when the town was rising in wealth and prominence, when money was flowing in from outside and the church was growing in power. This, immediately after the blood began flowing in the city and people began becoming intoxicated by it, the tastes and the thrills and pleasures that were sought by the wealthy, the aristocrats in this district grew in severity. They chased different thrills. You were not privy to most of them, to most of the parties and stuff here, but as the queen herself never really, she never spent much time here. She was, obviously was not her place, and thus not really yours, but you are definitely
Parties came to her, yeah.
but you are definitely familiar with some of the people here, the processes and how things work. And as you pass
Lovers,
by,
haberdashers.
There are stores here. There are plenty of them. Most of them don't. Obviously, they don't appear to be open. You could probably find some if you're looking. It looks like, to your perception, as you pass by building after building, it seems like what's left of the people here are off of the streets. They're locked inside, like much of the rest of the city. And, you know, as they would often. You know that when hunts kind of turned on regular, when the moon grew and beasts started roaming the streets, it was fairly common for the wealthy to lock themselves in their homes while the hunts continued outside, and they just had parties. They indulged themselves until the dawn. That was just the thing, and there is no dawn at this point. There is no dawn this time.
Party the night away.
Party never ends.
Party never ends.
Wow.
Let them eat cake.
You were passing by by this large kind of building where quite a bit of noise of women seem to be laughing inside, but
Gurney ignores this.
Okay.
This particular building
Okay.
doesn't seem like his type of venue.
All right.
I remark on his studious ignoring, and is the door open?
No, the door is closed, but you can knock if you'd like.
Knock at your own risk, Vesper.
Well, what's our errand right now? What's our goal right now?
Well, we have to find the. Not yet.
Not yet. Not
Actually,
yet.
yes.
We
knock
said that
on-
totally jinx in tandem. Not
Okay.
yet.
Vesper, actually do knock on that door because we need to get directions to the Red Brothel, because honestly, I can roam these streets forever.
Yeah, I'll.
So could I.
All right. So you want to knock on the door?
Knock on the door. Yeah.
I
All
stand by here, arms behind my back. Felix, you should, I'm not sure
Hello.
You as you knock, the laughing continues, but you hear, after a moment, you hear a voice on the other side that says, oh hello, who's out there? You know, I'm off during the hunts, if that's what you're here for.
Not here to engage your service or for the hunt, but I do have a question.
Question. Who's out on the street on a night like this? Nowhere to go. No money to go anywhere, probably.
Well, I do think you'd be mistaken, and I jingle my Chatelaine's purse right at the door and say, Vesper Keening? Vesper Keening calls on you.
There's a pause and says, "No, I don't know anyone by that name.
Not on the
Are you looking for someone inside?"
We're
Oh,
looking
well,
we're looking to spend our money at the Red Brothel.
Ooh.
Well, good luck
We
then.
do hear that it's the best in
If you're looking
districts.
if you're looking for a crazy party, someplace where you can really enjoy yourself.
We hear it's the finest.
I hear Lady Ileana throws a wild time.
She
The
says,
night never ends, you know.
she says, that's a good joke if I've ever heard one. No way you're getting in that door unless unless you're supplying the refreshments, or maybe the food.
We are.
Are you talking about blood?
You hear kind of the voice almost whisper, says, "There's no finer cocktail."
Well, we just happen to have some.
Let me in there.
We've got plenty.
Break down the
Almost,
door.
almost do.
We actually do have some.
Break down the door.
Literally inside of us.
Well, we also have one for Queen Markle, but
All right,
that's,
right.
I'm not letting her know that.
We could have as much as you all need.
We do carry refreshments. The quality of Queen Morgul's personal stash.
Ooh, I like that name drop.
There's a pause,
That's
and
good.
then you hear. Sounds like you have quite a crowd out there. What do you say you come enjoy the night in our establishment instead?
Yeah.
Well,
I'm saying that as a
If
player.
it-
Ulrich's not happy about it.
thank you for the invitation. I'd love to see if it suits.
There is a
And I jingle the purse again.
there's a long pause. You hear a kind of a metallic scraping sound
Oh,
as
no.
it sounds like jingling of chains being moved, and then very slowly you hear, and the door is going to creak open.
Get
Am I
ready,
supposed
Ulrich.
And
to-
as you-
Yes. Okay.
As you guys, as the door opens, you see
Kill.
you see the door open. Hold on one second.
Okay.
You see
Yeah, what's really there?
standing in it is a woman. She is she's in a velvet, kind of shiny velvet red and black dress. She has blonde hair that is kind of coiffed up on top of her head, with a kind of a headpiece or a hairpiece that sort of looks like a tangle of thorny vines and other things. And she's just kind of leaning against the wall, and you can see her face is powdered white, and she just kind of leans in. She says, "Well, come on in then." And you just notice a small trickle of red down her chin. And that is where we're gonna end it for tonight.
No.
Where's my happy ending,
Yeah.
Askren?
I think that's a happy end.
That is
I mean, that's what the brothel is for.
Oh.
so. That is unfortunately as you guys enter this this strange chamber of these ladies of the night. That is where we're gonna have to end it tonight because it is, of course, midnight and we cannot go on forever. And the mystery must continue. But that's gonna be it, guys. Let me turn off this this spookity music here, and we'll put back on some of this. So seriously, thank you guys for hanging out. I hope you had a good time. Let us know in chat what you thought, whether you enjoyed the show, what you thought about it, your favorite part, all that kind of stuff. We want to hear from you. And as always, seriously, guys, don't go away, because in like 2 seconds, right after we talk to our players, we've got a giveaway for hitting that monthly goal, and I want you guys all to be here to win it. So yeah, let's talk to our players, get a little bit about their thoughts and feelings on the session, and maybe we'll do some hooks and plugs after that. So we'll start out with you, Speedy. What did you think of tonight, man?
Yeah, tonight was real fun. We fought a pig. A slug attacked me again, and I
Nothing
clawed at
happens
my
by
own chest and
accident.
washed it out with sewer water.
Juicy.
Juicy. I'm excited for the brothel, for sure. This is gonna be interesting to say the least. Finding people this obsessed with the blood. But for
Brothel
their-
of blood.
No.
But yeah, I'm definitely excited to see more. As always, you are a master of suspense.
Oh well, my pleasure, seriously.
No butt kissing. You're not gonna get advantage.
He might. I don't know. I accept
I
bribes.
don't even need him to give me advantage. That's what Ayami and Toonarth are for. Goddamn. And Mike.
Damn
Oh,
it.
man.
Guys.
Oh man, we'll go through those in just a second. But seriously, Din, what about you, man? What did you think of today?
Yeah, felt so good to be back, dude. Oh my gosh, yeah. Awesome to be back with you guys. I'm glad this party. Oh, so good. Yeah, I was worried, at the beginning. I was like, crap, I don't remember enough. But then it's like, it all came back to me and it was good. But then the nightmare set back in. So I was like, oh no. Oh yeah, I got it. And, oh no, wait, I remembered all. It is bad. But that's the adventure. It's good. It's overcoming strife. So this is good. We're I think, yeah, I'm glad we got we got past that little freaking pig bastard. I'm just really happy to be back playing. I don't know how else to say it than that. I'm happy to be with my comrades. Thank you guys again for coming out that one night on the Kickstarter. That was super awesome.
Oh yeah, we'll talk about that in
Yeah.
just a bit.
Yeah,
But
chill.
next, 4 man, what do you think of tonight?
Tonight started with some really. I felt really pressured. I had to wait like 2 weeks to finally get to that moment you left me at long ago. And I'm like, oh man, guys. And I feel like we're making a lot of decisions that could either really develop nicely or they could just, whoa.
Yeah,
Whoa.
I got that a little bit today too. I got some longer decisions.
But I'm really glad to start moving on to different parts of Palemore. I'm really excited for what lies ahead in the Alabaster District. Once again, I love Palemore.
No spoilers. I won't give you any spoilers, but I can tell you, I had such a blast writing this part of the city. It was so much fun. So I can't wait to get into
that's
it.
Cool.
I actually wrote.
That's it.
I actually will tell you. I was at work today, and I also was writing because I thought you guys were going to go a different direction. I was writing the Academy District, and that was a ton of fun too.
Nice. Yeah.
Oh man.
Building a world.
Oh shit! And it looks like we're just ending our session as the Arvanauts from Arvin Elrond stream come pouring in. Seriously, thank you guys. You guys are awesome. Welcome to Writhing Moon, our open legend horror campaign. We will thank you guys for joining us. Lisa, what did you think about tonight? Got here a little bit late, but we knew that was gonna happen. You came back from the dead.
Ooh,
We had
Better
the
late than
tombstone
never.
in your
late than
memory.
never. I can't even tell you how tired I am. I mocapped hard. It was a long day of basically nonstop cardio, but it was so great to come back here and see everyone and be here. Oh my God. Right into the middle of these unbelievable descriptions and a crazy pig monster in the sewer. I was like, yep, I'm back. Yep, totally back.
Yeah, right? That was when I was like, yeah, we're back. Right.
Yeah, we're back. Yeah, that's really awesome. And now, I'm really excited to see more of actual Palemore because I felt isolated. You know, I lived my life in one part and then we were just underneath it and in tunnels. And now I love that we're up somewhere and things are happening out in the livelihood of this city. So I'm really excited.
Oh yeah. We're as always, I had a great time. Thank you guys in chat. We're gonna go across to do some hooks and plugs and all of that stuff, but as I promised you guys, because of all of the donations tonight, so much support from you guys, thank you. I think it was Ayami with what, let me see, 5, 10, 15, 20 $20 from Ayami for the Nat 20s, Unmade Gaming with the $15, Bubbernaut with the $25, and Two North crushing it with 20, and then so a total of $65 from Two North. Thank you so much for crushing that monthly goal. So we're gonna have a giveaway. Here's what's gonna happen. We're because I thought it'd be really cool, and Wizards of the Coast sent me some of them. We're gonna be giving away a Tomb of Horrors cloth map. It's an artistic representation of the Tomb of Horrors. It's got like hand-drawn notes on it and all kinds of stuff on it. It's a really, really cool piece. And because I love you guys, as always, I'm gonna be throwing in a brand new set of D&D dice with it, because that goes with everything. So here's what's gonna happen. The giveaway is going, so all you have to do is type !map to join, and I want everyone to get in on that. All of you guys, make sure you type in !map, get in on that giveaway, and you may be the winner. I'm gonna let you guys do that, but while they're all getting in on that, let's get on to some hooks and plugs. Tell everyone a little bit about who you guys are and what you get up to on the internet. We'll start with you, Speedy Man. Tell us all about it.
Hey man, yeah, I am Speedy. I'm not so speedruns on Twitch and Twitter if you follow me there. I am a variety and D&D streamer. I do a bunch of like indie type games, and then I also do D&D twice a week. On Sundays, I do one shots where I have on guests who are either beginners or streamers, just anyone who wants to come on, pretty much. Anyone is welcome. And then on Mondays, we have our long running campaign. We're running through the Mines of Fandelver right now, which is a lot of fun. 4 is on it as well, so definitely great time. Come check it out.
Awesome, man.
And
awesome.
Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. Yeah, the links are right there in chat. Go show him some love. Go give him the follow. All that good stuff. Next up is Din Money.
Yeah, what up? Jeff Trebs, Din Money here online. I am a artist / game developer. Just had my first game go through Kickstarter. Thanks to these fellows that are, I don't know where they are on the camera for me, but like all around me, all these wonderful folks, and all of you out there, we had a successful funding, and it's gonna be an awesome game. I'm so stoked to start the full development. Whatever, hit me up online at Din Money, Twitter, Twitch, Facebook, DeviantArt, all over there. I draw cool stuff, and I'm happy to be a part of this session here on Open Legends Writhing Moon. Yeah.
Yeah, man, we just dropped in on Din's successful Kickstarter, so we're looking forward to great things from him. If you haven't already, make sure you go show him some love. I don't have the do you have the backer kit up, or is that not up yet?
Yeah, that's actually, sorry, I should have mentioned that. We are going to be releasing, if you missed the Kickstarter, we're going to be having the backer kit and like kind of pre-orders open May 1st. So follow on Twitter, myself, or AGL Studio Art.
Awesome.
In the chat right now.
Cool.
Awesome,
Thanks for the
awesome,
support, guys.
awesome. So yeah, go check him out. And coming at us with some news, I think, is Mr. 4. What's going on, man? What do you get up to on the internet?
Hello, I am 4. Gosh, a lot of exciting things have been happening recently. I'm actually starting to try to become more active. I've been telling you guys for forever, oh, I can't do it, I'm too busy, or, Now I have moved to Savannah, Georgia, and I am free to begin work on making my channel into something. So, I'm going to be starting 2 D&D campaigns, 5th edition, and one of them is going to be a custom campaign, and the other is going to be a deluxe mode, or rather a deluxe run of Out of the Abyss. I am calling it a no party mode. That means there are no player characters. I will instead invite various cast members, including the ones that I find. I'm still casting it. I'll drop links probably in a Discord chat with, I don't know, somewhere, or on my Twitter feed, which is on the forefronts. And I'll just basically be starting to DM and really show you guys what I got with outside of the player atmosphere, because I don't know, on the forefront hype, I guess.
I thought I had sent links to like a big blurb to chat, but it didn't work for some reason.
That's all right. But it's gonna be
You'll
really
see it on
big.
the forefront.
Well, go ahead and drop those links in so everyone can follow you, man, and make sure to go follow him and check out that D&D because we are excited for him.
Sick dude.
And last but not least, Lisa, what do you get up to on the internet? What's going on in your neck of the woods?
Oh my gosh. I am Lisa Bell on Twitter, and I am Danger Lily on Twitch. But I'm not streaming yet or DMing yet, but that's coming. DMing is coming. And on Tuesdays, and I'm not sure how many episodes this is, but on Wondery.com, Wonder with a Y, Wondery.com, I am Terry Housden, the lead's mother in Sight Unseen, which is an audio drama comic of supernatural and sci-fi and superheroes and really cool stuff, and that's really cool. And then I'm doing stuff for a video game that I can't talk about.
Aww.
But we're all gonna want to play it, right?
Yeah.
We're all gonna want to play it.
Okay, just
Yes.
making
Talk
sure
about
of
it
that.
eventually.
Okay.
Yeah,
But eventually, any other stuff that I've done that I still can't talk about, I'm so sorry.
no problem.
But yeah.
Understandable, because you're
Yeah.
doing cool stuff. Nice.
Yeah.
Keep it up.
All right. Well, and as always, my name is Askren. I am the host and dungeon master here on Exploding Dice. You can catch me here lots of times per week. Actually, we have 3 live roleplay shows. Saturday with Writhing Moon, our open legend horror campaign that you just watched. Sunday with Jade Regent, our D&D 5th edition adventure. And now Wednesday with our awesome sci-fi fantasy mashup called Iron Gods. It is a really cool show with a really cool cast, and we've been having a ton of fun. And so you should definitely check that out. You can follow me on social media. It's just at Askren. That's Twitter. That's where you can keep up with everything about the channel. It's all live there. And if you're already following on Twitch and Twitter, that means you already have entries in our monthly giveaway where you can win a copy of the Yawning Portal D&D book, as well as some Player's Handbook, Wormwood Gaming Dice Vault, and some dice, all kinds of cool stuff. It's right there. If you're already following, you got entries, so go claim them. That's basically all of it. Thank you guys so much for helping us hit our donation goal for the month. You guys are amazing. You guys keep the stream running, and we love having you, and we love all of it.
Thank you.
Oh, and last, I announced it at the beginning of the show, but I can announce more details. April 29th, we are going to be doing a really crazy stream for International Tabletop Day. We're going to be part of our stream team, the the Tabletop Game Network, where we are going to be taking each stream. It's going to be us, late night tabletop, playing board games, and saving throw show. And we're all going to be doing our own individual shows, but each show, one after the other, is not only going to be featured on the front page of Twitch, which it absolutely is, but each show is going to connect to the others in a big overarching story. One show affects the next, and we have the last show, so we have the finale to the whole thing. It's going to be a ton of fun, lots of hype.
Only Askren can pull it off.
I don't think that is true, but it's gonna be awesome, and it's gonna be 100% for Extra Life. So all donations are going to Extra Life. So hopefully you guys will be there.
So good.
Hopefully you guys will be contributing and helping us raise a ton of money for charity and just having a huge
please.
hype day. More information is gonna be that. Actually, let me see if I can find it. I want to get you guys the link so you can watch the trailer. It's on Discord. I gotta find it. But while I'm doing that, here we are, Tabletop Day. Yep, there we are. I'm gonna drop the link for the video in chat, so please go check that out. That's it for us today, guys. Oh, the giveaway. I gotta hit the giveaway. End of the giveaway. Stop. Pick the winner, and the winner is going to be Two North. Is the winner.
Oh, there it is.
Oh shit.
Rigged.
Two North is the winner.
He earned it though. He earned
Money
it.
well
He
spent.
didn't use the odds to his favor.
Oh man. Let's get some ED cheers in the chat for Two North. That is going to be it. So thank you guys. Thank you guys. Thank you guys. Don't if you didn't win this giveaway, I mean seriously, we have giveaways all the time on this channel. Come back. Help us get some more subs, some more donation goals, and you will absolutely, I promise, be winning something at some point here because we give away so much.
And so much cool stuff, like really cool stuff.
Yeah,
Yes.
really. You guys are gonna love the giveaways that are coming up in the next couple months. I got some crazy stuff for you. That's gonna be it for us. But of course, before we go, we want to pass the love on and find another D&D or awesome hype streamer. I'm trying to see who's streaming right now. Not much in the D&D category as far as I can see. Hold on one second. I don't know if this is started yet. I see us. I see Arvin Eleron. I don't know who these guys are, but I'm going to well, why don't we go Oh, you know what? Let's go to these guys cuz I know who they are. And they're kind of doing something cool. So we're gonna go raid Divvy Loots. I don't know exactly what they're playing today, but I do know they have a show on there with my friend Random Tuesday. That's Lauren Bond and a couple other people. So exclamation point raid Divvy Loots. Putting that in chat. And that is going to be it for us. We will see you next time, guys. Thank you for joining us. As always, don't let Dice Thulu get his tentacles on you, because he might crawl out of the side of a dead pig. We'll see you next time, guys. Take care, everyone. Bye, guys.
Bye.